Tour Guides. I'm Carrie.
I'm Catherine.
And I'm Bree.
Today we are taking you on a tour of Seattle. That's on my bucket list to go with my mom because we really want to hit up the wine regions there, especially the Columbia Valley because it's very up and coming. And so we went to Napa a couple years ago. We're like, our next one is going to be Washington.
I would love to go. Mm-hmm. I've heard that I would love the Pacific Northwest flora and fauna. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of that temperate rainforest, so I would love to go and see the coast. And there are a lot of interesting cities that I'd like to go. I'd love to do some of the west coast of Canada as well.
Oh yeah. So
they're pretty neat, and I have a friend who spent a lot of time there, and she was right over the sound, and she could see the whales swimming into the sound. But she's really terrified of whales for some reason. So hey, Greta, I'm sorry you're so afraid of whales because it sounds like a beautiful place to be.
Yeah, I really want to go. I've never been, but I just want to go play in the forest and sit with the trees.
Yeah.
I love trees. Especially
I do too.
Forests. Yeah.
So when this comes out, it will be just under 1 month until Stephanie Meyer's new book comes out.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm really excited for it.
My interest in Washington may have something to do with Twilight.
Yes.
It was in my formative years.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
Formative years.
Yeah.
Not that I'm gonna make Colin and I listen to all the audiobooks to get ready for the new one.
I mean,
we're doing it, so
I'm kind of kicking myself because in my last book purge, I got rid of mine. I know.
Blasphemy.
I have mine. My set's right over there.
Yeah.
One of mine still has the freaking taco stains from when we went to Cancun my sophomore year in high school for Christmas. And I sat in that little hammock chair on the beach and I read my Eclipse.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm a little bit excited.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to be outwardly excited and post shit, but internally I'm just I'm really excited to read this.
Oh, no, I am. And so Colin's best friend had read them all, and we were talking about them the other night, and so I think Colin's super on board too.
Oh, good. Zach is not.
I think Colin's gonna be Team Jacob though, and we'll get to have a fight over it. So
he can be on my side.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
I'm Team all the boys.
Team Alice.
As usual. That too, though.
Yeah. We can all agree Alice is the best. So.
Do you know what inspired me to get my hair cut like this?
Alice and her gorgeous pixie cut.
Yeah.
Incredible. Oh my god. She's an inspiration.
Yeah. So it came out when I was in 8th grade. And I saw the movie and I was like, that's me. That's my style. And so since 8th grade, I've had short hair.
Yeah.
And I've also been dyeing my hair. I'm trying to think. I think I started getting highlights when I was in 7th grade, but I started fully dyeing my hair in 8th grade. So I was a bleach blonde little pixie cut Tinkerbell wannabe. But I tried so hard to get the cute little wisps at the end, and it didn't happen. There's some bad pictures.
Hers is a wig, so
I know. Well,
you can do a lot more with that.
You know those cringy middle school pictures?
Oh yeah, I look like a fat little boy because I had short hair too.
So I look exactly the same, which is even more terrifying.
Well, you know those Animal Crossing, the standard girl.
I do not.
No, but I feel like I really need to invest in Animal Crossing because you're the 10th person who's
Shout out Daisy.
Hey Daisy. But no, the standard Animal Crossing person for the girl has this super flippy hair, and that was me. I'm gonna stop this real quick just so I can show y'all the Animal Crossing picture and myself from 8th grade because it's wild. We might have to post this after this episode. Okay, so I found the pictures and showed them. Yep. That was me in 8th grade. Yep. Well, to awkwardly transition, you know what talking about middle school makes me want to do?
Drink!
Hey-o!
Yeah.
Same.
Man, I'm 2 for 2 with my transitions this week for recording.
We just want to, what everything makes us want to do?
Drink. Shout out, and that's why we drink, because literally everything makes me want to drink.
Yeah.
So, of course, I've already talked about the wine region in Washington, so guess what we're talking about?
Wine.
Vino. I actually pretty much solely used the book that my brother got me because I was pulling so much information from it that I didn't want to overwhelm y'all, especially because we do have 3 wines today.
Prepare for it to get shitty.
Oh yeah, by the end of this, it's going to be like Rome and woo!
wine drunk is a drunk for me that I didn't know I had. But
Yep.
now, after Rome and after LA,
Woo!
I now know
Yeah.
that wine drunk Catherine is a fun drunk, but it's there.
Yeah.
I've never been wine drunk until you bitches.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
I like our response.
I drank like an entire crate of wine to myself at someone's wedding once, and then I got wine drunk. But other than that, I've never been wine drunk in my life.
Well, hopefully our delicious wines will be soaked up by our meal. So take it away, Carrie.
So the Washington wine region is very unique because of the Cascade Mountains. And so there are portions, but it's unique because there are the wet forests and all the rainy areas.
Temperate
and then,
rainforest.
Yes.
God.
And then, east of the mountains, the rain just doesn't pass because mountains. And so it makes it drier.
Sorry, I can cut that.
I'm pretty sure that's
Please
called
don't
the
cut
rain
that.
shadow effect.
Yes, it is. I just wanted to layman's term it.
Gosh,
My eye is twitching.
I learned a lot in middle school. You go, middle school teachers. It's all coming back.
And so the most well-wine region I've already talked about is the Columbia Valley wine region. But we are going to look at I'm going to say it wrong because you just said it right and
Puget.
Sure. Puget Sound.
Yeah.
Okay. And more specifically, the Woodinville wine region that is surrounding Seattle. So Woodinville wine region is about 30 minutes or 20 miles northeast of downtown Seattle. I had to put in both units of measurement because here in Texas, I always gauge things in like, oh yeah, it's 30 minutes away. And then when I go to Kentucky, it's, oh yeah, it's 5 miles away. I'm like, I don't know how to gauge that.
No.
So our first wine is the Chateau Ste. Michelle Gewürztraminer. It is an aromatic white that is a nice golden color. You can expect flavors of lychee, rose, grapefruit, tangerine, and ginger. It is on the sweeter side, but it's not a necessarily sweet wine, which is why we're starting with it.
It's really refreshing.
It is really nice.
It's one of my favorite.
It's what we are currently drinking, and it pairs really well with Indian and Moroccan food.
Ooh.
It's
I
also,
could see that.
Yeah, it's also traditionally not expensive, so you can get a good bottle for like $10 to $15. I think the Chateau Ste. Michelle was like $8.
Oh.
So it's very affordable.
Yeah.
And you can get syrupy with it, but this one's not. It's nice, light, refreshing, very easy drinking. Bria's already almost finished her third of the bottle.
Bottle?
A third of the bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, my third of the... I was like, don't put me out there like that.
No, we have 3 whole bottles, so we will each end up with a bottle by the time we end this.
That's fine.
That's right.
So, yeah, this is what we're drinking right now, and it's pretty nice. What are y'all's thoughts?
I like it. It's a very me wine though.
Yeah.
Very like crisp and.
Just Barty Crouch Jr.'d my lips.
Oh no.
I'm wearing. Oh no, I was gonna
It
say
was
I'm
just-
wearing a David Tennant shirt, but it's Matt Smith.
Oh,
yeah.
no, it was just so good on him.
Yeah. So our next wine that we will be trying, I'm going to crack it open a little later, is a Charles Smith Kung Fu Riesling. So,
It's an awesome bottle.
yeah, first off, the bottle's awesome, but
Oh, that's when we saw Shabu.
Yes.
Of course it is. The best place. Ugh.
we've been to Shabu so many times in the recent week.
I'm pretty sure we talked about Shabu before on here, but
In Tokyo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Shabu.
Yeah. But also, fun fact, my cousin-in-law's name is Charles Smith, so hey, Charles. I'm not going to say exactly where you're at, because I respect your privacy, but...
And murderers.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's a really wide spectrum for Rieslings, and I'm really excited to try this one, because you can get the syrupy, sweet, dessert winey, like, it is so sweet, to bone dry. And there is that huge range. And so a lot of these things are very generic because of that, because it is very dependent on what
Where
kind
it's-
of Riesling you get, where it's from, and honestly, when it's harvested, because late harvest tends to be a lot sweeter, and that more of dessert
Riper.
winey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And so, again, you don't have to spend a whole lot to get a good bottle. I think this one was $9, but you can get anything from $20 to $30 and not be totally ripped off. If you're spending more than $30 on a Riesling, it better be local and you're supporting local business, because otherwise you're getting ripped off.
Yeah, because I'll spend a lot more on a local bottle of wine
yeah.
than I will on if I go to like Total Wine or Trader Joe's to buy something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because like most local wines are between 20 and 30, sometimes higher if it's a more specialty bottle, but
Like sparkling and
yeah. But even still, I think most sparklings are like 26.
Yeah.
Which
I'm just thinking about Landon prices because they're my favorite.
I think Landon's is 28.
Yeah.
We also need to go back to the Frisco Fresh Market.
Oh yeah, because that
And get that
winery.
wine.
She does like fruit wines, but she did like a pear and ghost pepper wine.
Yeah, it was a prickly pear and ghost pepper.
Oh, I want
it was the
that
best hipster shout out Seattle wine ever.
So Riesling does primarily grow in Germany, but America is the second largest growing region, and Washington is the top grower in America for Riesling.
Interesting.
So there's a little fun.
So they're
nugget.
representing, yeah.
Yeah. And the flavor profile, again, very generic because it depends so much on how they make it.
Sure.
And all the things I've already said. But Meyer lemon, green melon, gala apple, honeycomb, and lime.
Mm-hmm.
Other potential flavors include green apple, beeswax, jasmine, apricot, basil, and papaya.
Okay.
So very wide spectrum, but it is a little bit more on that fruity, kind of sweet side. I'm hoping that this one's not going to be too sweet.
A little tangy. A lot of those are tangy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Well, also, there is a gene that makes it taste like petroleum.
Ooh.
So I actually have that gene, and a lot of times if a winemaker has that, they will really try to bring out that petroleum taste.
Well, I'm interested to try this.
And so
Why would you want to bring it out?
it just more intense flavor.
Oh.
And it for some
We'll
people.
see. Well, it's to be determined on whether how I feel about this.
Well, and like I said, I have the gene, and so every single time I go anywhere, if there's a Riesling, I'm like, I'm gonna try it just in case, because a lot of the sweeter ones don't have it, but the drier ones do.
Okay.
Petroleum, like petroleum.
Think Vaseline.
Okay, that's
So,
what I
like-
was thinking. Petroleum jelly. Yeah.
So you know the
Yeah.
smell of Vaseline?
Yeah.
Now taste it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
too.
I have tasted it.
Yep.
Doing makeup stuff
Yep.
for
Yeah.
shows and whatnot.
Well,
Blah.
like elementary school, my lips were always so dry that they would be super chapped, so I'd have to put Vaseline on at night. And so I would eat a lot of Vaseline.
Ugh.
It was just preparing me for a love of Riesling. So our final wine that we are going to try tonight is going to be the Chateau Ste. Michelle Merlot Indian Wells. So Indian Wells is just where it was grown. Now, I love a good Merlot. It's a nice big old red. And it's very popular. I think it's my mother-in-law's favorite. If it's not, I'm sorry. I tried. But it's also primarily grown in the Bordeaux region of France. Like, that is its main growing area. France grows a lot of Merlot. And America's number 3 in the world for growing. And of course, California is number 1 for growing in America. And Washington is number 2.
Okay.
You can grow a lot of shit in Washington with all that rain and.
Well, and because it's such a
Good
diverse
soil.
climate
Yeah.
and wildly varying in soil types. Yeah. So currently, Merlot is the 5th most planted grape worldwide. In the past, it has been as high as number 2, being surpassed only by Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay.
Here's a fun little fact. The Merlot, this may not be fun for y'all, I'm sorry. I found it really interesting. So the Merlot varietal was believed in the past to be a cross between Cabernet Franc and Carmenere. However, they recently did a DNA test on the grape.
I love DNA testing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All of it. Just DNA test everything. I think it's fascinating.
Same. And so it is a cross between Cabernet Franc and the Magdalene Noir de Charente, which is a very obscure grape. I had to look it up, and it's just a really pretty grape that was recently discovered in like 2008.
Oh.
Because they did this test, because I think they started testing in 2004, and in 2008 they came to a conclusion that this was the grape that it was crossed with. So I was like, that's really interesting.
So, side note, if we can do DNA testing on fucking grapes, we should do DNA testing on old rape kits.
On all the
Yeah.
backlogs? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Getting off my soapbox. Temporarily.
So it can be used as a rosé. I have had a Merlot rosé, and it is delicious.
Yeah.
And it's usually medium to full body, which is where you'll see it as a red. I mean, it's versatile. It's delicious. The flavor profile includes cherry, specifically
cherry.
black cherry,
Delicious.
plum, chocolate, dried herbs, and vanilla.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love Merlot because it tastes like comfort.
Yeah.
I'm reading my notes, and I didn't hear what you said, but
Don't.
no, nope.
You don't want to hear what
I'm
she
not
said.
going to say it.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
continue.
later.
I looked at my notes, and I saw color dark. And I was like, what was I thinking when I wrote that? And I don't know.
Chocolate. Dark chocolate.
It may just be dark in color.
Yeah.
Because,
Chocolate.
well, it is a dark wine.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a dark purple, dark red, depending.
It's a very beautiful color for bridesmaids dresses. It's very popular in the shop.
So it pairs really well with red meat, lamb, and, well, again, depends on how they make it. If it's a more medium body, it's going to lean more toward, the chicken, mushrooms. Bree's laughing and making a weird face, so I'm really scared.
I sent you a text. It's okay.
Okay. But for the darker, more full-bodied, red meat, lamb, veal, stewed dishes.
I love a good stew.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had lamb, but I really want to try it.
It's really good.
It is a interesting flavor. It is unique.
I had it on my river cruise for the first time because...
You're the old people?
Yeah, me and the old people. They're little badasses.
I
only
love
eat it
old
when I
people.
travel, and
Yeah.
that's the most common meat somewhere because it is a much. I'm weird with meat, and it has like a very distinct flavor. But like shaved lamb is really popular in a lot of places, and that's much more manageable for me because like I've had like just like a lamb steak, and it's like a big flavor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and with the river cruise, all your meals on ship are included in your price. So I'm like, what's something I will probably never have anywhere else?
That's true.
Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was delicious. And so for the more medium-bodied ones, caramelized onions, chicken, and pork are really safe options. You can pair it with fish, but mainly if it's earthy sauces or flavorings, but also grills. That's weird. I mistyped.
Pair it with grills.
You can pair it with grills. But
I love the taste of charcoal.
Swordfish and tuna.
Tuna.
And then
Which those are stronger flavor fishes, so that would make sense.
it has to hold up to the big
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
Cheeses like Parmesan and Romano.
Perfect.
Yes, I love a good Parmesan.
Meat.
It smells like stinky feet.
Oh god,
I love a
it's
good
so
stinky
good.
cheese. And you can also pair it with desserts like chocolate and berries or even a dessert fondue.
More cheese, man.
Uh-huh.
I love cheese.
So, similar to the Riesling, since the body can vary so much, it does wildly depend on what kind of Merlot you were drinking. There was one... I had a fun fact somewhere. Oh, damn, I missed it. I'll go back to it in a second. Speaking of Riesling, it is similar to the Furmint grape that we experienced in Hungary.
That goulash.
Throwback.
Yeah.
Throwback.
Go back to Hungary.
Hey, that was a stewed.
It was
That's
stewed.
what I was thinking when she
That
said
was a
stew
stewed.
earlier.
That was a stewed meal, and we're gonna get another one coming up pretty soon.
But stewed meat goes with Merlot. That was for the Riesling.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
But
looks like we have to have 2 bottles of wine.
Oh no. But second fun fact, but this one's actually for Merlot. National Merlot Day is November 7th, which is my mom's birthday and my in-laws' anniversary.
Nice.
So it's just a fun day. We can crack open a bottle of Merlot
Yum.
and have a party.
Pap.
So, even though we are having wine, which tends to be a little bit better with a sit-down meal, we are going street vendor. I love a good street vendor food, and I try and do it whenever I can. So we are having a Seattle-style hot dog. Been on a sausage kick this week because last night we had currywurst, and today we are having hot dogs.
Maybe like him as sausages.
Yeah, she does. Okay. So, Seattle-style hot dog, or a Seattle dog, is just a hot dog topped with cream cheese, sauteed onions, and I just cut mine real tiny, thanks to Antony's cookbook. Thanks, Antony. And,
Anthony, be our friend.
oh my gosh.
If I'm 5, please be our friend.
Please, all 5 of you.
Got distracted.
No, I was going to say even my least favorite of the Fab 5, but I didn't because that's mean.
Okay, but I dislike him less this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love you all. We really do.
Yeah.
But I have my favorites, and it's Antony. So, this hot dog is super delicious. It was really easy. I just pan-fried the hot dogs and pan-grilled some onions, cream cheese. We did a sriracha topping. Apparently, sriracha is pretty common, or mustard, but ketchup's not as popular.
But also,
hipster enough.
no. But sriracha's just also awesome on everything.
It was
Oh,
really
yeah.
good.
I kept dipping the salt and vinegar chips in it because
Yeah,
that
we
was
just did a side of chips because I'm leaving for vacation, and that was easy, but it was pretty tasty.
yeah. But also it reminded me of pontooning with my family because we always had salt and vinegar Pringles. Oh yeah.
Pringles have gluten.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
So Seattle dogs gained popularity in bars and music venues during the grunge movement in the 90s. So that's super Seattle. And they'll sell them late night, like walking home from a bar or a club. And also they're popular on like game days when there's sporting events. Mm-hmm. So there's lots of different options that you can do, but the toppings that we picked seem to be the most popular ones. And we just threw it on some hot dog buns, and it was delicious. Apparently they got started because someone had a late night bagel stand, and so they put hot dogs on the bagels with the cream cheese. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so good.
So delicious. It varies by region, and you can pick your own toppings. Some people do sauerkraut and things, but
now I want to make a bagel
sauerkraut
with cream cheese and a hot dog and sriracha
so
on
the cream
it.
cheese is mild enough to like hold up to the grilled onions and hot dog. It just adds like a really creamy element, and the sriracha isn't too sweet like ketchup would be.
Yeah.
It was good.
Well, Zach and I had this really weird thing about our love of cream cheese because we love cream cheese. There's a little kind of appetizer deal that you can do with the Fisher and Weiser sauces and cream cheese.
Very Texas.
We will destroy a block of cream cheese with Fisher and Weiser.
Is that the sauce you bought that one time and he ate all of it, the dip?
Yes!
So Colin and I will do a pepper and fruit jam, like habanero and raspberry or jalapeno and raspberry on top of cream cheese with some crackers.
Yeah.
Super Texas. Delicious, though. Because I like cold cream cheese.
Yeah. Oh.
Cold cream cheese just hits different.
It does.
Than like
So
warm
good.
cream cheese. Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all by myself, so I don't eat anything with anyone because I don't eat. So
We'll just force you over, and you're gonna eat cream cheese stuff with
they
us.
do feed me.
Yeah.
I even like the hot dog, which, as Catherine has pointed out, I don't like everything apparently because I always get
like,
sick.
She's like, I don't like that flavor, but it's fine here. And I'm like, well, you know,
I say it's delicious here. I give her good compliments, not this bullshit fine stuff.
But also,
Fuck off.
just so y'all know, all the food is actually delicious. We're not just hyping it up.
Oh, no, it really is. Like, I wouldn't eat it if it weren't, because I'm a bitch.
and I wouldn't make it. So, like, if I don't like an ingredient, I just won't cook with it. So I will change everything to fit our dietary restrictions and also my personal palate because I'm cooking it. But it's fun because, you know, a lot of home cooking has to do with taking something that's common and then tweaking it to your own family. So this is like a way to take a nod towards a culture, but also have it food worth eating.
I say we your family.
Yeah.
That cute.
We are family.
Yeah.
I got all my sisters with me.
Also, we make Colin take a bite of whatever food it is before we eat.
To make sure it's not poisoned.
Yeah, he's our
Poisoner. Not poisoner.
poison tester.
Yeah.
He's our royal poison tester. But no, literally, it's like a weird
we're all
superstition.
queens.
Yeah, we literally make him take a bite before any of us can eat. And his plate always looks so cute, and then we eat it on paper plates. But
Yeah,
it's okay.
it's fine. He gets the photo-worthy plate,
He
and
takes
then
the risk.
so
He
everything you
gets
see on
nice.
Instagram is what Colin gets to eat.
He eats it all. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna crack open our Riesling.
Oh, I'm not done. Hang on, wait.
Oh, chug. But I'm gonna crack it up so I can start pouring. So here we go with the crack.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Sounded like me when I wake up in the morning.
I freak out.
She's not wrong.
I'm not
though.
kidding.
I freak out Zach because I literally just like roll over and it's crack all the way up my
The
spine.
arthritis hits hard, man.
The scoliosis, man. We got some problems up in here.
Yeah, Catherine spilled her wine down her shirt, so yeah.
She's got a drinking problem.
She just wanted to
I picked the wrong day to
She
quit
just-
sniffing glue.
She just wanted to
movie's
be
so
the
good.
doctor.
Well, so like I'm drinking out of a Corksicle, sponsor us, wine glass
That I
from
gave
Kara's
her.
wedding.
Yeah, that was one of my bridesmaids' gifts.
And I'm trying to drink, but I keep spilling.
Take off the lid.
That's
You
true.
just want to share with the doctor.
Yeah, my Doctor Who shirt, one of my many.
There
I have so many,
Is
80%
that
of my.
11?
Yeah, that's 11.
Yeah,
Mm.
because
I'm
he
sorry.
did.
I'm
He did the Van Gogh episode, which is
Mhm.
literally
He did.
my
Yes.
favorite.
Yes.
Okay, I have an undying love of Vincent Van Gogh.
Mm-hmm.
And travel related, I went to Auvers, which is where he spent his last 70 days. And
baby.
got to see his grave where they planted ivy over it and buried him next to his brother, which ivy has to have something to cling to, which is so... It's so symbolic of their relationship because they really clung to each other, even though his brother had a wife and like a whole other family. Sorry, I'm pouring, so it might sound like pee.
It's never gonna be pee.
I know, it's never going to be
It's
pee.
always wine.
Yeah.
Or a drink of some sort.
It is
Did you
always...
just call it drank?
Sure did.
It's a little drinky drink.
Okay.
But yeah, my love for Van Gogh is undying, and I got to be in the church that he painted and hear the organ and the bells. I got to hear both, y'all. I sobbed.
So
We've
Oh,
talked about organs a lot.
it's a travel thing of mine.
Yeah.
So like anywhere I travel, especially in Europe, I have to go to the cathedral and see the organ. Like it's. I have been in so many churches that are under reconstruction, and I don't care because I'm still getting a picture of the organ. I went to one, I cannot remember, I want to say somewhere in Austria, but they literally had it taken apart and put up in the balcony, and I went up to the balcony to take a picture of the parts. Granted, it was also an organ that Mozart played on, and so I was like, as a singer who performs Mozart frequently, I'm taking a fucking picture of this.
Yeah.
Yum, 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 yum.
All right,
Cute.
let's see how this Riesling tastes.
It's good. I like it.
I don't like it as much because I get a bitter taste.
That's petroleum.
Yeah. Like, I get a bitter taste.
Yep.
But it's also probably the same gene that deals with the cilantro bit
Yeah.
that I have to force myself to like, and you don't because you can't.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I don't know if it's the same gene, but that's like a common food that tastes different to different people.
Well, and that's a different gene. Mine is an enzyme that my body literally will not
Oh,
tolerate.
no, I'm not talking about the allergy. I'm just talking about the petroleum taste.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe similar.
It probably is, because it's definitely not everyone, but...
Yeah, because I get like a distinct like oily bitterness like on the sides of my tongues with this one.
I should probably coat the sides of my tongues when I actually try it.
Do your full taste test, Brie.
Bree's like, I don't taste nothing. She's like, I taste.
Sorry, my phone keeps vibrating on the table, so if you hear weird sounds, that's me.
And we're texting each other.
It's
I would
Bob.
like to point out.
It's Bob. It's fine.
No, it's Leslie texting Catherine and I about a Groupon.
Well,
My mom.
Fuck, I'm left out. Damn.
My mom texts me and you about a Groupon. Gosh.
Hi, Leslie.
Leslie. That is a wine tasting.
Yeah.
It's a wine tasting package.
At Landon, which you've
At
already mentioned
Landon.
once in this episode.
Good call, Les.
No, I tasted the bitterness, but I don't have a problem with cilantro like y'all. That's what I was saying is interesting.
I eat it because it's like so important in so many dishes, but it like I had to learn because I do have an adverse. It tastes so like
Soapy.
yeah, and it's that bitterness too.
Because a quarter of the population has that gene.
Yeah,
So
I'm not surprised I do. My genes are all over the place.
So, for our fair listeners, my little cilantro history, I have not always been allergic to cilantro, and it's actually considered an intolerance because it's not an actual allergy per se, but it was developed my senior year of high school, and I only knew what to look out for because my mother is also allergic to cilantro. And so, I mean, it's solely gastrointestinal, so I'm not like going to break out in hives or swell up or anything.
Bruh, I wish.
But, you know, if I needed to go on a cleanse, like colonoscopy, here I come, because
You can get some bomb queso.
literally a bomb queso.
Talking about poop again.
It'd be
Man.
like that scene in White Chicks. I'm bringing it back again to White Chicks. It'd be like that
Bridesmaids.
one scene. Oh my god.
Oh, that scene in Bridesmaids is literally what it would look like if my mom and I had cilantro.
You did that one time when I was with the two of you.
Oh, I forgot
We were
about
like
that.
looking at like wedding something or another. I don't remember what we were doing.
What were we doing? I don't remember if it'll come back to me, and I'm just gonna like blurt it out in the middle of
I just had a
someone's
lot of iced
segment.
tea sitting there.
Oh my gosh, when I can picture the bathroom stall because I was in but I can't. I don't know where it goes.
The bathrooms.
Oh, your mom's gonna love this.
Hi, Mom. Okay, so moving on from potty talk. Hey, Brie, what's going on?
So we got some mystery, sorta.
It is a young city.
And I fell asleep on my computer while taking notes, so there's that. So the settlers that originally came in 1851 and called it New York, but later changed it to New York Alki meaning by and by. I don't know why, but I got it off of the Seattle government website, and that's what they said. So
okay, Seattle.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what it was. It was New York before it was cool.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry if I sounded like I was in pain, but that was awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, so
I have my moments.
It's the land between the freshwater.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna interrupt you. I was re-listening to an episode, and it was Boston, and you said, I think you said something about like big, and you said snakes wrong.
Snakes.
So it sounded like Spanx, and I was like, I have big Spanx, and I was re-listening to it, and I laughed so hard. I was like, that is such a good joke.
I was not cutting that out. Like, you guys can hate me all you want, but I'm like,
No,
this is
I literally like
fucking
laughed
gold.
out loud, and Colin's like, "Are you laughing at yourself?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm a
Okay.
treat."
Well, when I was fucking editing the first 5 episodes in bed that one time, you were laughing at yourself?
Yeah, I'm the only one who thinks I'm funny, but it's okay.
Okay, no, I was on June 1st when this came out. I started listening to them.
Big Spanx. It's a good joke.
But I was listening to us, and Zach was working at his computer, which we have little like catty corner office space desks, and I just started busting out laughing at something, and he looked over at me and he was like, "Are you laughing at yourself?" Yeah, because I'm hilarious.
Our husbands are very supportive.
Yeah. Well, and he knows my deal. I had a professor one time tell me after an observation, "Do you think you're funny? Because you're not funny." And I was like, I never made a joke. Like, she tried to call me out for making a colloquialism of saying, like, clear as mud. It's like, was that meant to be a joke? Because it's not funny. I was like, it's a colloquialism.
My sisters are both very funny and like different kinds of humor too. Like very mainstream humor, and I'm like weird turn of the century British humor, so you know, I normally don't get recognized as this funny one in the family, but you guys think I'm funny, so look at me now.
Because we're also weird.
We also have that weird dry humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. It's the dry humor.
Oh, yeah.
It's wit.
Yeah.
It's a higher
Which
form
beyond
of
measure
intelligence.
is man's greatest treasure. That's me. The Ravenclaw.
Yeah, Becky.
Aw.
I'm just cynical and ambitious.
Apparently, I'm just fucking nice. That's my only personality.
And loyal,
trait.
and you get to live by the kitchens, Brie. Don't complain.
I know. Annie was like, "If you don't want to live by the kitchens, then you can get out.
My sister
if
got
you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen."
My sister got personally offended when Brie was like, "Well, I'm only Hufflepuff," and Annie was like, "Let me tell you something about Hufflepuff." She got like physically angry, and she like whipped around and was like, "I'm gonna teach you about House Pride." She's like, "If you don't want to live by the kitchens, we don't need you." I was like, "Dang."
And yet,
I don't eat. Like, why do I need to live by the fucking kitchens?
Because it's snacks, Brie.
I don't snack. I
They
don't
bring
even
you
eat
tea
real
and
meals.
little scones.
I do love my nuts. And my tea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So take it back. Show some pride.
Yay.
I remember tweeting at J.K. Rowling one time when we were drunk and watching Harry Potter about the Hufflepuffs and Professor Sprout and possibly having something fun in the greenhouses.
Hey.
To
Professor Sprout does not need this kind of jokes.
how many different greenhouses are there?
A lot.
How many types of plants
So
does she
real
have?
quick, Beans, we're talking about this. We do not agree with J.K. Rowling's current statements.
No.
But if I hated every author who did something that I did not agree with, I would have no music, no art,
Right.
no books, nothing. So
We all human.
all women, we understand you.
Yeah.
And we are here for you, and that's where we're going to leave that, because we do talk about Harry Potter a lot, and I know it's a big topic issue.
Yeah. But also, all three of us are very big LGBTQ plus supporters.
Super, super supportive of women. You can not agree with someone and still love a piece of art that they create.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's what we are focusing on, our love of the franchise, which teaches about love and acceptance. So,
Yes.
reread. Continue.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, sorry we keep interrupting.
It's okay. It's more interesting than what I had to say. Okay, so it's the land between the fresh water of Lake Washington and you're all falling asleep. And the salt water of the Puget Sound with the Cascades mountain range to the east and the Olympics to the west.
To the window.
I know.
To
Oh
the
my god,
wall.
it always
To the
reminds me
wall.
of Sandra Bullock in freaking The Proposal with Betty
Oh,
White.
yes,
It is
that's
the best
Alaska,
thing
though.
ever.
That's Alaska.
It is Alaska.
Why no, but you said to the window.
Oh yeah,
to the wall.
Betty White is a national treasure.
Yeah.
Actually, there's someone whose art has never offended me.
Oh yeah, she cannot die.
She won't. It's fine.
It's not
It's
allowed.
going to be a national tragedy when she dies.
She's never dying.
She better not.
Not allowed.
She's literally older than sliced bread.
She's a queen.
She is a queen. I adore her.
Speaking of which, the queen can also not die.
Right.
Neither can Maggie Smith,
No.
who is a dame.
Yes.
I want.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
It's like Ian McKellen. Kyle and I literally had a conversation. We're like, we should have a kid so that they can be alive when Ian McKellen's alive.
Oh, I was there for that conversation.
I really don't want I don't want a child that's been in a world where Ian McKellen.
This was an actual.
This is like a real conversation we had about our family.
These
like,
were
I don't
words
want a
actually
kid
spoken.
to exist in a world that Ian McKellen has never existed in for them. Like, that's sad.
Yeah.
I can't handle that.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
Okay. So
We're just gonna shut our mouths for like 5
No,
minutes.
you
so
won't,
can
but
get
Guys, I'm
okay,
wine
it's
drunk.
okay.
It's been a glass and a half, and I'm there.
I interrupted
Okay,
you
that's
all
because-
through everything.
Oh, that's
so
fair.
It's fine.
Okay, we've also had probably close to 2 glasses now.
Mm-hmm.
Because each bottle holds approximately 5 glasses. That's why I said approximately.
5 glasses for wimps.
Yeah.
One glass if you try hard.
I have the glasses that holds an entire. Actually, I have 2.
I have one of those too.
Yeah.
Because my family thinks I think I'm an alcoholic.
My family thinks you're an alcoholic. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's
That's
me.
a
Wrong one.
I covered the alcohol section of this podcast. Thank you.
It's educational.
It is.
It is.
I give a lot of really good information.
Yeah, and it's not just about alcohol. It's like regional and other
No,
shit too.
okay,
And
so
history
alcohol
and-
is
You're welcome.
Alcohol is cultural.
Mhm.
Drinking to excess is about alcohol, but learning
Well-
about alcohol is cultural because so many places that's like a thing of their heritage and their
Oh,
culture
yeah.
that they're proud to
Well,
share.
and in the past, they couldn't even drink water because it was contaminated, so they drank alcohol.
And
Okay.
for communities that are largely of a religion that don't drink alcohol,
Yeah.
we acknowledge that as well. So
Right.
I think we are being classy AF.
Yeah.
There's an amazing book called The History of the World in 6 Glasses. I do not remember the author right now. It is incredible, and it does touch on the cultures that had to drink beer because of porridge that was accidentally left out and fermented, and then they drank it and they were like, huh,
It's good. It not kill me.
it's good, and now it's safe. We don't understand why right now,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
but it's not going to kill us because of the bacteria that is killing off all the bad things. And so that's excellent, and talks about, beer, wine, spirits, and then through coffee, tea, and soda,
coffee and tea.
and how all of those 6 drinks have formed history.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. My favorite thing when I lived in Florida was the Epcot exhibit, where it was sodas from around the world.
Yeah.
And you can go in and taste all the different sodas, and literally little caffeine. So, just to explain me as a child, my favorite Disney park, even we had season passes, right? My favorite Disney park was Epcot at 7. So just to explain little Catherine, that was always my jam. And I loved that, going to try all the sodas from the different countries. So interesting.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we're sorry.
Continue, Bree.
It's okay, it's
I
okay.
said we were going to be quiet, and we're not.
And,
It's the wine.
okay, so it was named in honor of a Duwamish Indian Native American Seattle. Get it right.
Come on,
Well,
Seattle.
some Native Americans do prefer the term Indian, so whatever floats your boat, that's what
Yeah.
you are.
Okay, yeah, that. But in terms of us saying it as like a blanket term, it's
Yeah.
safer to say Native American.
I grew up with like a lot of India friends, and so sometimes I get confused.
I teach a lot of India
Yeah.
people, so.
But yeah, that guy, he was the leader. His name was also. Ooh, I think I spelled that wrong. It says Self, but it's supposed to be like Seattle, but like Seathl.
Oh.
Seattle. Okay.
Yeah. But I spelled it wrong. It says Self, and I was like, I don't think that's right.
That's
Okay.
okay.
Spelling is
I have
hard.
lots
It
of
is.
misspellings in mine.
So he was a friend of the settlers. In 1853, Henley Yesler's lumber mill was built, which became the town's main means of economic support. Did a
Twin
lot
Peaks.
of business with
Yep.
San Francisco. And it was located at what is now Yesler Way, but was once the bottom of Mill Street.
Makes sense.
Yep.
So Chief Seattle actually died near Seattle in 1866, I believe. So 13 years after the American settlers founded the city for him.
Oh.
Okay. He was born in like 1790,
Okay.
and he was also the chief, as well as the Duwamish, the Suquamish tribe. who lived around the Pacific Coast Bay, the Puget Sound.
Yeah.
And yeah, he died in, I think it was June of 1866. So,
gosh, I'm sure. I mean, now that nature is so beautiful. Can you imagine, like, untouched
Oh,
by
God.
pollution and modern things? How gorgeous that must have been.
So I've been watching Outlander season 5, and it.
Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Sing of that lass behind.
I'll just randomly sing that in my car because
Yep.
it's such a good song.
So I made a study abroad video.
Yeah.
For like my parents to say thank you for like supporting me and helping me financially, right?
Yeah.
And so, or covering it financially.
Yeah.
And so I like made a video because I like video diaried everywhere.
Yeah.
I like to thank them, and they really liked it. And I had so much footage of Scotland because it's so beautiful that I played that song and did a whole bunch of footage.
Aww.
So now when I get in my car, it either goes Hexpecto, Patronum, or plays that song because they're the only 2 songs I have downloaded on my phone. Because I just stream everything else. So it's a toss-up which one you're going to get. Both are weird.
I love Outlander.
Oh, well, season 5 is in America, and it's like the untouched, pre-revolution. Oh, and they actually filmed it in Scotland, fun fact.
Of course
Which,
they did.
yeah, because Scotland is still so beautiful.
Yes.
It's so pretty.
It's so green, and it makes me so
We're postponing
happy.
doing an Edinburgh episode because I'm just going to cry the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, and we're also just going to go there and do it.
Yeah. Please. Oh my god, I need to go back.
Yeah.
We're going to start a Patreon just to fund our trip to Scotland and our own mics so that we don't peak so much when we laugh obnoxiously.
Because right now we're sharing one mic, which is a struggle bus because we're all hilarious, so we laugh at each other.
I figured out how to fix that tonight, though, so.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay! Stay tuned, listeners.
Yeah, it'll get better. I
It's only getting better from
promise.
here.
Except it's going to take so long.
And we also need to let you get through your portions.
Okay. Northern Pacific Railway Company announced in the early 1870s that its transcontinental railroad,
Railroad is a hard word.
it is so hard.
Railway.
Railroad, it's a railroad. The western station would be about 40 miles outside of Seattle at Tacoma, and they were a little salty about that, but Seattle was later able to weasel its way in there as a connection after the railroad was completed in 1883. And this is making me want to watch Hell on Wheels again because, what's his name? Ansel something or other? He daddy, and he like actually daddy because he's older, and I'm like, ooh.
He's like Polish or something?
I don't know.
Hey.
I don't know.
Ansel's a pretty name.
It is really pretty. I think that's his name too. It's something along those lines.
Ansel?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ansel Elgort from The Fault in Our Stars and Divergent.
No,
And
not
Baby
that.
Driver?
Not that person.
Hey, Bree.
Huh?
We have a daddy in mine as well.
Daddy.
Ew.
Daddy.
Gross.
Okay, moving on
You should
from.
see my disapproving look.
Okay, hold up. I'm actually looking up this.
How am I
name.
the most mature person when it comes
Hey,
to dad?
Don't
it's
kink
not
shame
immature.
I'm not
It's
kink shaming you.
Yeah, it's a kink.
I'm just concerned as a friend.
Hey, boobs are also technically a kink. Ass is also technically a kink.
Ass, and titties. Ass and titties.
Dance 10 looks
ass,
3.
titties. Ass and titties. What?
As a dance 10 looks 3.
Oh, his name is Anson.
And ask, have your bongo bongos done.
His name is
Real song from a chorus line. Thank you.
Anson
Yes.
Mount. And he,
I have no idea who that is.
he hot, okay? That's all
Okay.
you need to know. Okay.
And
Anyway.
is obviously a professional performer.
Yes.
So that's actually what I need to know.
I know, I don't mean to undervalue and, like, objectify you and shit.
Mhm.
We appreciate the way you look.
Also, you're acting. Like, I liked you, but also you sexy. Okay.
Perfect.
Late 1800s, Seattle experienced massive growth.
A massive growth or just massive growth?
A massive growth, okay? No, massive growth in terms of population. They
Was
were
it benign?
No, it was malignant.
Oh no.
They had to cut it off. Sorry.
Probably population expansion is bad news.
Well, yeah, they estimated to gain approximately 1,000 people a month. Like,
Ooh,
holy
wow.
fuck, folks.
Oh, I bet you it's beautiful though.
Yeah.
And economically, with the addition of shipbuilding, fishing, trade, and shipping, as well as lumber and coal being the main industries.
Ship writing?
Building.
You are a ship
Writer.
No, shipwright.
A shipwright?
With a W, that's why you're a
Yeah.
playwright, because, or like a wheelwright, because it's considered a higher level of craftsmanship.
Ooh, we're so fancy. We're sipping our tea. Okay.
We will next week.
I'm like extra pretentious this week. Sorry, guys.
I'm not.
Fine.
I was talking about Epcot. It really got me. Little Catherine is shining through.
We were pretentious before Epcot. Don't you worry.
I've been
I was
pretentious
talking about
since I was
poop,
born.
so...
Yeah, Carrie was talking about poop, so we
And
do
not
have
even,
that.
and not even like a good poop. It was like bad poop.
It's okay. We have to bring it down while Catherine's got the pretentious, we just bring
It's
it
called
down.
the rain shadow effect.
Told you we were at pretentious far before Epcot.
Hey, you know what? I'm just being true to myself,
Yeah.
Bree. Myself is pretentious.
I wouldn't be friends with you if I didn't appreciate it. Okay.
At least I'm aware. I'm self-aware and pretentious.
See,
Very
that's the thing.
contrasting.
That's the thing
situation.
about all of our, some may deem bad traits. Like, we're aware of them. We
We're
acknowledge them.
Yeah.
We are at the age where, you know what? I'm gonna own it
Yep.
and be happy with myself.
Yep. If you don't like it, sucky, give me $5.
I'm aware of my flaws and it gives me anxiety.
That too.
So we take medication
Severe
for that,
anxiety.
and then we move past it and self-deprecating humor on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Or we just ignore it.
No, Bree. Ignoring things.
I joke.
It's
I
bad. It
kid,
leads to a
I
large growth.
kid.
Get yourself checked. Okay, go.
There were about 500 buildings being constructed just that March. So, June 6th, 1889, there was a massive fire that took out a bunch of buildings in the middle of the city's
Oh, no.
business district.
A fire in a city.
In the middle
What?
of the
Crazy.
district.
Dick
What? What?
I just can't speak. The middle of
And
the
the dick trick.
Oh, district?
I want a dick trick. Somebody drop it down.
We took it over another one.
Okay.
Gosh, that movie would not go over well today.
No.
Business district and about 166 acres of land, but the city rallied and used this as an opportunity to create a professional fire department, better
Okay.
streets, and other improvements.
Oh, good.
So way to rally, Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
can
meant
rally.
fire department should be there first.
can rally.
Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt
right.
again. But there was a tweet by a fire chief who...
That was the loudest snort ever.
So that was Brie.
Sorry. Why did you guys out me like that?
Because Carrie talked about poop, I talked about how pretentious I am. We had to get your snort in there to make it equal, okay?
I snort like my papa, okay? And he's dead. It's the only thing I have left.
Jesus Christ, Brie. Oh my God.
It's true, though. It's not a lie.
Holy shit.
Jesus Christ was Jewish.
Oh.
There's a little
Avenue
Avenue
Q.
Q reference for you. What was I
Colin
saying?
hasn't seen that yet. I know, he would love it. He'd cry, he'd laugh so hard.
I had a friend who was in the ensemble for that, like down in the pit,
Together here.
and he kept comparing me to Lucy, and I was like, wow.
Oh,
Fuck you.
I am Kate Monster through and through. The whole I'm kind of pretty and pretty damn smart. I like romantic things like music and art. But as you know, I have a gigantic heart, so why don't I have a boyfriend?
Except we're both married.
Well,
Yeah, so why is that not me?
So why
Okay.
don't I have a boyfriend? Fuck, it sucks to be me.
Oh, it is me. It is me.
Sucks to be you.
But to be us, but not when we're together.
But literally, so my husband is my first boyfriend. Just to point this out. So this was super relevant to me until 2 years ago. Continue.
I've had one that counts. Which
my
sounds super shitty, but it's true.
my longest
You know who
boyfriend
you are.
before my husband was 2 months because my bullshit radar was literally set
Yeah.
on extreme.
See? Same. That's my struggle. I'm like, you're a fucker. Bye.
Yeah. And literally, it was my first boyfriend who we recently discovered looks a lot like my current husband when they were both the same age,
Weird.
which is really weird.
You have a type, Carrie.
Clearly. But, yeah, no, I had my first boyfriend which lasted like almost exactly 2 months. My second boyfriend was about a month, and then he was like, bye. I was
I
like,
didn't
oh.
laugh, but I did because
Okay.
the way you said that.
Oh, it's fine. We're still friends. He was there when I passed out in the music building. Was like, "Oh, are you okay?" I was like, "No, I fucking passed out."
This is why people don't like me. Because I had the same.
Yeah, it's like, why would you ask that? I'm laying on the
You're
floor.
dumb. Yeah.
And then my third boyfriend didn't want to accept the fact that I dumped him because I also got fired from my job the same day. But I was planning on dumping him because I tried to dump him beforehand.
Is that Freebirds?
Yeah.
Sponsor us.
Hey, Freebirds. I'm not mad at you for firing me without cause and without any notice. But also, you're the only burrito place that doesn't have cilantro on everything, so please sponsor us. For all the money you deprived me during college because you fired me without notice or, like telling me without reason. So, yeah.
So you owe us.
So you owe me money.
And by her, she means us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
we're a package
by
deal now.
association.
yeah, it's a package deal.
Okay. So, when they rebuilt, the condition was they had to make the buildings out of brick or steel, not wood like before. Hello, London.
Hello, Governor.
Governor.
Which, obviously, we talked about in episode 1, which was only 9 episodes ago.
Oh my gosh.
Shit, is this 9?
This is 10.
Oh, that?
We're working on it.
I do
We're doing
English,
good.
I not math. Literally what my fucking counselor told me. She's like, oh, you're an English major? I'll put you in the dumb math class. I'm like, yay. Anyway.
I'm music. I just kind of pull shit out of my ass.
I can
all the
usually do
time.
math, but I don't want to. So I'm like, yeah, put me in the dumb math class.
I made 105 in my last math class.
I
Same. It
skipped
was
ahead
flat.
as much as possible in math so that I didn't have to take it
Yeah.
later in life.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened.
I had to take one college math class, and they were like, you can take the easy math. So I took stats.
I took
and I was
stats.
like, bitches got 105%.
I took contemporary math, which was the math.
La-di-da.
No, which is the math class that most people should take because it was like how to calculate your mortgage and taxes. I was
For
like,
real, though.
where the fuck was this in high school?
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
Tell me why I do my taxes better than
Oh,
our
my
CPA.
foot's asleep. My foot's asleep.
Wake up.
Oh no, I hate it.
Wake up.
It's time to get up.
Bree,
Good
finish
morning.
your segment so we can pause.
I try. Okay. Another
Buongiorno.
transcontinental railroad, the Great Northern in 1893, discovery of gold in 1897 along the Klondike River near Alaska and the Yukon Territory, early 1900s, added the Union Pacific Continental Railroad, which helped with Seattle's position within the trading industry. International Fair in 1909, the Alaska Yukon Pacific Exposition, major player in building a large chunk of World War I's wartime ships.
Yukon Cornelius. Tastes like gold. It's from Rudolph.
Boeing introduced the 707 commercial airliner in the late 50s, and Seattle sponsored a World's Fair, the Century 21 Exposition in 62. Microsoft, Boeing, Amazon, and Weyerhaeuser have helped develop the economy, and done with history.
Alrighty. Do we have lore?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a small pausa so Catherine's foot can wake up. Okay. And
We're eating salt and vinegar chips, so
So the
pay no
crunchy
mind.
crunch is chips.
And you
Reese-
missed it. I said, my lips are on fire. I'm gonna say, Catherine, back me up.
Okay, so weird fact about that song. My senior year, we had like a quote senior riff off for my choir, and
How pitch perfect of you.
okay, but like everyone else had to use a microphone, which, okay, but my solo
Loud.
was that song, and they were specifically like, back away from the microphone, like don't get near it. You do not need a microphone. And then here I am singing opera, which is non-microphone
Microphone.
because your girl is loud when she sings.
I wish. I hate microphones.
Oh, I had to sing an opera once with microphones, and it was the worst experience of my life.
Well, I just hate running sound.
That too. Hence why I opera. But no, it was in an amphitheater, and so it didn't contain the sound, so it couldn't reverb. It was literally the worst. That's also when the Great Flood of Lubbock happened. September 24th, 2015. Lubbock.
Remember that day.
I do, because I have pictures of it.
Chickadoo to bless.
There are pictures of people doing that.
I know, you told me.
Yeah.
We had a great flood in Denton once.
Oh, yeah?
I couldn't get home. It
All the
literally
dumpsters were
blocked
floating
off.
down the streets.
We had dumpsters floating. We had people canoeing. The water was up to the doors in my Jeep, which I had a Jeep at the time. Beep, beep, I'm a Jeep. That's what I would always say.
I'm a Jeep.
Catherine is a Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm a zoom zoom. Master.
Make my body go boom, boom, my supernova girl.
Wow. Throw that.
Yeah, for real.
When I got Disney Plus, that was one of the first things I watched.
Oh my gosh, Xenon is. Oh my
Life?
gosh, bless.
Life.
I watched Treasure Planet, and then all of Gravity Falls.
So my cousin-in-laws, same side as Charles Smith. Thank you, Charles. No, but that side gifted us Disney Plus for Christmas, and they're gonna get that for us again. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so much. So I appreciate y'all. I don't know if you're listening right now.
I hope so, because we need listeners. Damn
Yeah. Come on, guys.
Come on.
Get it together, man.
Rebecca, I think you're listening because I know you like podcasts. So shout out. I love y'all.
Okay, I'm talking now with chips.
With chips in your mouth.
You're fine. I wasn't raised better than this.
Better than chips? No such thing.
In my mouth as a talk.
Yeah.
I like other things in my mouth. Anyway. Okay, Seattle's grungy underground. This is a short little blurb on the history before I move on to lore. So apparently, Seattle has a secret underground city that burned down in 1889, and then it was rebuilt on top of the city was rebuilt on top of the old ruins.
What was that?
Shut the fuck up.
Runs.
The runs.
It was built on top of runs.
Ruins. Anyway, which are still open to tourists today, and there's a video on history.com, and go watch it, because I'm sure shit gonna watch it as soon as I have time to, because I love old ruins that have cities built on top of them. And I just made like big gesturing arm movements because I was super excited. So yeah, be excited, fuckers.
Do not insult our listeners. My mommy is listening.
It's an endearment.
Mommy, she did not mean it.
Leslie would like it. Alright, so we got the low, folks.
I think my dad is listening.
Oh, Joe, I saw you. Don't listen. He listened to Rome. He can listen to anything. I was so drunk. And I said fuck at least 50 times in that episode.
Yeah, my dad does not care. I talked to him and he's like, there's a lot of really good information. I was like, Dad.
Thank you. This is before we got to Rome.
Aw. Joe.
Okay, Willowtuck Sea Serpent. So it has its own mode of transportation. It's said to travel between Lake Washington and the Puget Sound via a secret tunnel.
Ooh.
It's like the Loch Ness Loch Ness Monster. Not tickle my lip.
Monster.
And it was thought of by a Seattle filmmaker, Oliver Tuthill Jr. And it was based on Native American sea serpent legends and his fascination with Nessie. And
I
he
saw
even,
her.
Nessie!
he even created his own backstory and all of that. And made a film. The Bat Squatch. Okay. So, half ape, half bat monster.
Hold me, bad boy. That's a real musical.
Oh, musicals. So, first spotted in the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens. It has an ape-like body, glowing eyes, and bat-like wings. And it's supposed to cause feelings of dread in those who cross its path. It's like the Grimm. So, many theories, including the idea that the volcano's violent eruption tore a hole in the fabric between two dimensions of space, and
Of
a
course.
creature slipped into our world.
I almost guarantee that's what happened.
There's also Tacoma Narrows Bridge octopus. Yeah.
I love cephalopods.
So there's a giant Pacific octopus, and it creeps along the bottom of the Puget Sound. And I'm definitely reading all of this from a website. You're welcome. So I guess it lived for like 3 to 4 years, and the cephalopod can grow to weigh 100 pounds with tentacles stretching more than 20 feet.
Oh my god.
But local lore speaks of a creature even bigger.
Ooh.
It's a 600-pound king octopus.
Oh.
That scares divers in the waters beneath the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. And
Have you seen that video where the octopus like breaks out of
Yes!
his house and goes, opens up the jar, eats the crab,
Oh yeah,
puts
yeah.
the lid back on,
Yeah.
and goes, oh my god.
Yeah.
Guys, octopus are so cool.
Octopussies. JK octopi.
Rihanna.
What? You should not expect better from me at this point.
I don't. That's why I didn't say anything.
Expect low
It just makes me
things.
think of Austin Powers, because Octopussy makes me think of. Foxy Cleopatra.
A lot of vagina.
Here's gold.
Oh my god, I was wearing a shirt.
Oh, yes, salty. Yes.
Turtle.
Is it not? What is it?
No, Master of Disguise.
I'm going to be a master of disguise.
No, I was wearing a shirt the other day and I felt like one of the fembots because the way it made my boobs look, I was like, at any point.
Baby girl, hi, honey. Hi, baby.
It's like at any point, my nipple pistols are gonna pop out.
Incredible.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. She heard me yelling. Oopsie.
It's okay. It's okay, baby.
So some people say the wreckage of the original bridge that collapsed during the 1940 windstorm is like the lair. Nita.
She's very worked up.
It's okay. It's okay. It's the lair of the king octopus under the Tacoma bridge. And his massive tentacles have been seen reaching up out of the water. So
That's
yeah,
what she
it's
said?
not reaching up out of the water, boo. Anyway. Ouch, I bumped the table, my bad. So, we're a shit show, and we're not even drunk. So it's like
We might be.
I'm drunk.
I'm not, I ate chippies. So he's kind of like a Tacoma mascot, and the Narrows Brewing Company has even created an IPA in his honor.
Oh, that's
That's
cute.
nice.
Yeah. Okay, what we got? The Pacific Northwest tree octopus.
Oh.
So,
What?
reportedly seen scrambling along mossy branches in the Olympic Peninsula's rainforest. According to legend, it spends its early life and mating season in an aquatic environment, but it moves to the trees later where it hunts small vertebrates. An activist claim that is threatened by Sasquatch predation, and immediate action is needed to save it.
The tree octopus is being
Threatened by
eaten
Sasquatch.
by the Sasquatch.
Yeah, and they need immediate action to save the tree octopus, Catherine.
I would donate
Yeah,
to that
which,
cause.
I mean, we just watched an Unsolved Mysteries on the Sasquatch last night, but I think you were asleep for it.
Oh my god, including participation in tree octopus awareness marches and donations to the conservation organization Greenpeace. So, sadly, it's an internet hoax created in 1998.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I love everything about that.
What the fuck? Okay, agropelter. They live in hollow trees.
What was that about not being drunk, Bree?
I just can't fucking speak. They're
My
really
brain works faster than my mouth.
Honestly, though,
Uh-huh.
they're really slender of body, and they have an ape-like face and muscular arms. Lumberjacks apparently fear them, and they're supposed to be like really
Lumberjacks fear nothing, Bree.
good. Well, they're supposed to be really good marksmen, and they can throw dead branches with the brute force and lethal accuracy of a rifle.
Oh.
Accuracy.
the legal accuracy.
So the agropelter feeds on owls and woodpeckers, and so they can't like multiply too much because it's a scarce food source.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And Caddy the Cadborosaurus.
Oh.
So there's supposed to be like hundreds of
Do
sightings.
they lay Cadbury eggs?
We'll find out. The bitch hasn't read it yet.
Brianna!
I found them. I fell asleep on my laptop, Catherine. Anyway. So, hundreds of sightings in the last 2 centuries. Popular in the Puget Sound region and the Strait of Juan de Fuca.
Woo!
Seen by experienced sailors and ordinary people alike.
Aw.
So it's a sea serpent, and it's supposed to have a head that resembles a horse or a camel, and a long snake-like body with short flippers. So it's a water horse.
Aw.
Sort of. Ish.
Ish.
It's like a water horse.
saw.
Fucking nasty.
I found a turtle, a snapping turtle, it turns out, in my garage, like behind all these boxes when we were little. And that episode of SpongeBob had just come out, so I named him Mystery.
Aww.
It's like a seahorse, and he grew into like a 30-pound snapping turtle. Like, he was like, take off your finger. He was like a turtle.
He was a good turtle. So he
Mystery.
might be a type of living prehistoric whale known as Basilosaurus.
Wait,
But,
Basiliskosaurus?
no, Basilosaurus. Basilo. Saurus. Less interesting. But
Could be the basilisk.
most sightings probably just mean it's oarfish or groups of sea lions.
Oh.
Yeah. That's it for that one. So there are lots of like
Sea monsters?
like sea monsters. Yeah, so the Lake Chelan dragon, the winged alligator snake, lives in
cool.
Washington's deepest lake. It has the legs and body of an alligator, heads and eyes of a serpent, and sharp teeth, a long scaly tail, and bat-like wings. And it's supposed to be related to Nessie.
It's Mushu.
Yep.
You're right, though. Okay, there's the Ogopogo.
Mushu.
The Ogopogo. Okay, it's a long-necked Canadian monster. And,
Like Littlefoot!
and it has a head that resembles a snake, sheep, horse, seal, or alligator.
Those do
depending
not
on
look
who
the
you're
same.
talking
No.
to. Depending on who you're talking to.
Someone
And
draw that.
It's supposed to have, I repeat,
Like a paper doll, so you
snake,
can change the head.
sheep, horse, seal, or alligator. Okay, so it's have
And? Or. Is it a
People
combination
can't see.
with?
do it, people.
Combine all of those and make an animal, and we will feature you on our Instagram.
It also has a dark hump and greenish black skin, and it lives in Loch O'Conaghan in British Columbia. And we're close enough.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
And then Wally.
Wally.
Wow.
So when my stepmom first moved to this country, she thought that wallet was Wally, and so whenever we told like Wally, she thought we were talking about her wallet, and so now she just calls her wallet Wally. Anyway, there is a long, scaly creature with sharp horns and a 3-foot head.
This is another Rome.
Not
Not sorry.
at all sorry, because Leslie loves Rome.
Hi, Leslie. I think this is like the 5th time we've mentioned you this episode.
Yeah, because
Hi,
we
Mom.
love you, and we just do these episodes for you. Apparently, you are our audience.
She does listen consistency.
Yeah,
Which she doesn't do any.
consistently.
Okay, I have some vinegar chips, and I kind of have vinegar sweat, so I'm just gonna need you to calm down.
Okay. I was talking to Carrie.
Okay, that's
laughed at
fine.
my snort.
As I was literally adjusting my bra.
You laughed at my snort. I heard, I will play back the recording, and you said, okay. Wallowa Lake. And it's different than Pixar's Wall-E, distant cousin of Ogopogo. Ogopogo. Okay, it's an ancient yet speedy monster, and it's hard to spot, but pause to listen, and you might hear its deep bellow reverberating through the pristine waters. Quote.
Aw.
And then we got Charlie. Not Charlie, Charlie.
That's
Charlie.
Also, that reminds me of Shelley.
Bella.
Different things.
Bella's dad's name was Charlie.
It reminded me of...
My car.
I forgot her name.
Shelley.
Well, yeah,
From
that
Hemlock
too,
Grove?
but Hemlock Grove.
I named my car after
We have
her.
a Charlie in mind.
Okay, but
We have to get there, though.
I get there, it's the last one. Okay. Cute, friendly monster lives near the bottom of Payette Lake in Why are we in Idaho? Never mind. Okay,
Idaho.
we're done.
All right. So, we are going to pop open our nice little Merlot right here. So, we're going to go...
That was so unsatisfying. The one earlier was better.
Okay, yeah, the first bottle I popped was like a satisfying pop. This one was like a crank and grind. Oh my gosh.
Crank and grind, that's what I do.
Heyo. That was a like nasty sound though.
That's not what I do.
I want to redo. I want to see if I can like.
That's not how that worked.
It kind of how that worked, though.
Do it again.
So we just put the cork in backwards and go.
That's so satisfying. I won't
Okay.
say what I said earlier.
Nice pop.
Not that one.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna take a second to pour real quick before we move on to our beverage. Okay, so we have our beverages poured, and I stopped it so we would not have pee sounds. Catherine's gonna try it. One thing with red wines is sometimes it can trigger migraines, and so I want to make sure that she is safe with the tannins because tannins can trigger migraines.
It's pretty light.
Yeah. So do you think you can handle more?
Yeah, I'll Google it and just make sure.
Okay. I actually haven't tried this yet.
It's different for every person, but a lot of people who get migraines can let you know.
Yeah.
You know?
Catherine, he's from Florida.
What part of Florida?
Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, that's a beautiful area.
But he's from Florida.
But they have boats in Fort Lauderdale.
But Florida.
Okay, you know what?
Well, going back to the wine.
As Bree uses her online dating app.
My husband says hi.
Hi.
And also, this wine is really light for Merlot.
Yeah, it has 90 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good Merlot.
Yeah.
But I'm a little surprised. Because
It's a really...
I'm used to, like, beefy Merlots.
Yeah, it's pretty light.
It's pretty pleasant. Also, again, that was me, but it was my Tarte Cosmetics shipping because
I ordered my Tarte kit, too. Did you order your Tarte kit, Bree?
No.
you need
better
to
do that right now.
Do it.
But is it like an actual like thing or is it like sample?
No, it's a full thing. I do it every year.
Bree,
let me do it.
Look
I'll do
me
it
in
for
my
you.
face. It's a legit thing.
Tarte, sponsor us.
Tarte, please.
Please?
Sponsor
I
us.
want
my
your
God.
Amazon clay all over my face.
I have a lot of it.
Yeah. So like twice a year they have their 7 full-size products for $63.
I did not know that.
Oh, it's
Full
incredible.
size. And you get a free sample with it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I love their lipsticks, and it's just so nice. And their eyeliner has a little cat on it.
It does. Their cat liner. Oh, it's so cute.
That's my red lipstick that you like. It's Tarte.
Mm-hmm.
Literally half of what I wear is Tarte. The other half is
You bitch to Poe.
the other half is Ulta because your bitch is Poe.
But I'm gonna for a Ulta.
Ulta's cheap, like the Ulta brand Ulta,
Your bitch is Poe.
with the $3.50 for every $15. I am notorious for finding exactly $15 to get the $3.50 off.
Yeah.
I get that from my mother. Thank you, Mom. I appreciate you to the end of the world. Okay. So now that we have enjoyed our nice little Merlot right here, it is nice and light. It does have some light cherry flavors. I don't get a lot of plum with this.
No, it's extremely light, but that could be because my tongue is saturated with salt and vinegar chips.
That's fair.
I'm probably not going to drink more than just a sip, though, because
Don't want to trigger your migraines.
heavier red wines tend to cause, like drier red wines, the tannins and the sulfites in them tend to cause migraines in me.
But it does have a nice spice to it, a little bit of vanilla in it.
Thankfully, chocolate and caffeine are also super common triggers, and I do not have those, so I will only have a sip of this wine if I can have chocolate. So, you know.
Yeah. So, Brie and I are going to finish this bottle together.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
I made you stay here.
It's going to be a fun evening.
I'm going to go open another bottle of local wine in just a minute.
There you go.
I'll try real hard not to stay here tonight, but I may end up staying here
You
tonight.
can. Colin, I slept till 1:30 today.
So,
We won't notice.
jumping back into the hauntings.
Spooky!
So,
Wookie.
this is a little different for me because rather than having one location, I'm going to be jumping around to several.
Me too.
Because a lot of Seattle's restaurants have ghosts.
Seattle, you are all over this place.
You are.
I literally cannot decide who to do, so I'm doing a sampling, so get ready.
So this is literally, I think, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm not even going to count because there's a lot. But it's several restaurants or bars that have ghosts.
Where we're going, right?
Heyo!
Yay.
Yeah. When we go to Seattle.
Yeah.
So, our first is Il Bistro. There's a ghost who lives in the mirror in the dining room and likes to show up in your photographs.
I'm talking to the man in the mirror.
Oh, yeah!
Change.
And you only notice her later. Then there's a lady who floats through the front door, down the hallway into the restroom.
Me, because I always have to pee.
Some speculate that it's the
"Excuse me?"
same woman
Aww.
from the dining room. So she's just like, hey, I'm only here to pee.
Yeah,
but,
just popping in
I'm
for
just
my
gonna
pee.
Pop in your picture too. And a few ghosts have been known to throw cutlery and glassware. And the weird thing is the glasses will fly off the bar and hit the ground, but they don't break. So they'll
So I
fly.
catch them. Those little shits.
Yeah, the ghost literally is like, I'm gonna be like a cat and knock this glass off the bar. But I'm nice enough to catch it for you to make sure you don't lose any property.
It's multiple ghosties. They're like, we play fetch just to fuck with the humans. Yes, I'm gonna do that as a ghost. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. Let's play catch with glassware.
Yay. Couldn't do it in life. Let's do it in death, bitches.
So then we have the Merchant's Cafe and Saloon. So the Merchant's Cafe was built in 1890, making it the oldest operating restaurant in its original location, though it frequently changed themes over time.
Okay.
So
I love a good themed restaurant.
Oh yeah. So it originated as a saloon and a brothel in its early years.
Woo woo.
So no surprise, they have a nice lady of the night who steals away to the downstairs restrooms.
Wait, is she a hood?
No,
She's a
I'm
sex
thinking-
worker, Brie.
yeah.
Hood.
I'm thinking lovely ladies. Yeah. So visitors can sometimes see a full apparition of her and hear doors slam as well as have their doors open and close.
Spookity?
And then men will often hear a woman's voice whispering to them.
Nope.
Sexily.
Very-
Breathily.
Yes, very
Ew.
sexy.
Bedroom voice.
Ew. If anyone whispers to me and I cannot see them, I'm gonna just start
It's gonna say,
throwing stuff.
there's a little in there.
No, it's
As
plenty.
the Slytherin, I don't appreciate that. We're not all parcel tongues.
Yeah.
You wish you could be.
Yeah.
Speak parcel tongue to me, Brie.
For real though.
Ew.
Give me all the nerdy men.
I'm like, ew.
I'm just kidding.
No,
but
you
no, I do like the nerdy. I like adorable men. Adorable
Well, have you
men are
met my
the...
husband or her husband?
Yeah, we both have adorable men.
Okay, this is why...
Heyo.
This is why I adore both of your husbands.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
pretty great.
But I don't think sexy thoughts because they're your husbands.
That's fair.
So they are non-entities. Sexless. Them.
Yeah.
You're welcome,
Yep.
Zach and Colin.
They're not a girl, they're a friend.
Yeah.
At
Hey,
Daisy.
friend.
Yeah.
Oh, where was I? Okay, yeah, so we had our nice sexy lady of the night who likes to whisper in men's ears.
Gross.
But there was a case when a male ghost started harassing a woman who ventured up to the top floor.
Raggy.
So, yeah, Merchant's Cafe.
She doesn't want you to come a little closer and whisper in her ear.
Don't whisper in her ear.
The Yoda. The Yoda video.
So then we have the Deluxe Bar and Grill. This building has housed a bar or tavern for close to a century, except during Prohibition when it was an ice cream shop,
Oh my god, even better.
but also a speakeasy.
The only
I
thing
had
better
it.
than alcohol is ice cream.
Well,
But they did both. Bourbon. Ice cream.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. Alcoholic milkshakes?
But they did do both because two
Yeah.
of their famed ghosts are a little boy and a little girl
Oh.
who want ice cream.
Aw,
Sad.
However, they are found
why
in the...
they die?
I don't know. But they are found in the basement next to the liquor room where they have seen peeping their heads out of the little wall slots and just being like, hey, how's it going?
They're so curious.
Oh,
And people have reported seeing a very dapper... Dappler. I try to combine
a
two
Doppler
words.
weather
A
radar.
I want a doppelganger.
A dapper gambler.
Dapper Dan. I'm a Dapper Dan.
Dan.
That's really hard to say in a row when you've been drinking.
I don't want no fop.
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
So, a dapper gambler wearing Prohibition-era clothing, and they call him Jack.
Oh, he would be dapper. I love me a man in a three-piece suit. Oh.
Remember Colin's surprise party?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Remember how Zach didn't dress up and I was so mad at him for not dressing up because he could have been so hot?
He's
Yeah.
so sweet.
He did
complimented
shave,
my
though. Okay.
stockings
He like
and
did
my
his beard,
shoes.
and a very drunk Catherine like went up and like put her
Oh, yeah.
hand, put her hands, and I said, "I like your beard, Zach." And he said,
did.
"Okay."
Well, okay, he trimmed up and he had a little vest with his slacks and it was nice, but like throw in the coat and
Ooh, I love.
Zachary, if you're listening, put on a three-piece suit for me.
There's your bedroom voice.
Sorry, there was about to be a phrase that came out of my mouth that
Daddy, where the daddy at, boo?
No.
Hold on, that's later. So,
Jack Harry kink, not mine.
Winky face. So, I'm sorry, Mom.
I was about to say, your mother really fucking hates me.
I'm married, it's fine.
That is true. It's a healthy part of a relationship.
It is. So Jack's hangout spot is in the pool room late at night. Shh.
I'm listening.
And one of the bartenders one night went down into the pool room and found Jack leaning against the pool table, and then Jack vanished.
Ah, the billiard room.
Yes. Okay, the owner of the Deluxe Bar and Grill has said that he chooses not to kind of play off the ghost stories because it can attract customers.
Well, yeah, I'd play on that shit.
And his staff members have sensed paranormal activity.
Sure.
And so, why deny it if your employees
Notice
can sense it? Yeah. So, then we move to the Orient Express restaurant and lounge, where the restaurant originated as Andy's Diner, and the owners bought 7 retired train cars.
That's cool.
To make up the building. One of the train cars is believed to specify, wow, words are hard. I got distracted because of what Catherine was doing, and Brie was like, don't do that!
I said to leave it up. I wanted a picture. What Catherine does during recording.
Yeah. We're all really weird right now. So let me rephrase that statement. So one of the 7 retired train cars is believed to belong to former President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And it's marked FDR's personal car on the side.
That's cool.
I want to take a ride.
He's
on
dead.
FDR?
Not on FDR, bitch.
That's necrophilia.
Yeah, Carrie.
What's
yeah,
my name?
Carrie. Not.
Did you just mix Carrie and necrophilia together?
I mixed like a whole lot of shit together. I want to say, yeah, Carrie, not
Necromancy?
Necromancy. That's
I
the
know.
word you
I said the right one. I made sure I got it right.
You
I
did
know.
get it
I
right
was
this
giving
time.
you shit. That was the point. Okay, continue. Hey, it's payback. Suck it.
So anyway, when Andy sold, it was turned into the Orient Express, which is the current name for it, which Orient Express, 7 train cars.
Yeah.
Catch my drift.
Murder.
However, the spirit who just resided in Andy's decided to get mad.
Oh,
now, there's one of 2 reasons why it could have gotten mad.
Decided to get mad.
Well, one being it knew that the owner of the Orient Express wasn't a believer in ghosts, so it was like, you're gonna believe in ghosts. Thank you.
Shun the non-believer.
Or
Charlie.
we get to Charlie later.
Carrie's over our shit.
It's because we're at an hour and a half already.
I sighed.
Yeah, so one being so they're both just like covering their mouths, that the now owner did not believe in ghosts, or that it's one of the ghosts that does not like change and therefore threw a fit because it does not like change. However, it has broken many a light bulb over the new owner's head, being like, no. And then this owner, unlike the Deluxe Bar, tells its employees to not acknowledge the ghost and not tell the restaurant goers about the ghost.
Yeah, because pretending something isn't there and isn't real always helps.
Right.
Well, is it to get non-biased stories?
Possibly.
'Cause
However,
I get that.
there is a surveillance system that is set up to possibly try to record the ghost. So it might be a front. Yeah. So we now move to the Canterbury Ale House.
Canterbury Tales! Yay!
A lot of fart jokes.
True.
Yeah. So in 1978, a bar fight broke out near the fireplace and a man was shot in the face.
Oh, shit.
Obviously, he died.
Yeah.
That happens.
So restaurant goers frequently see a man in the mirror that's above the fireplace with his head down. Some say that if you look at him long enough, he will raise up his face, only for you to see that he has no face.
Nope. You should have a face.
Yeah. And you good?
I was singing Rise Up to myself. I'm sorry. I did it quietly.
I was like, I have a little like background track. I'm kind of down with it. And then years later, a bartender was closing up for the night when the jukebox that he had already shut off started playing The End by the Beatles.
Woo. Ominous.
Woo! And then, according to The Stranger, a nice little news portion for Seattle, said that down in the basement there are 2 ghosts. One's name is Greg. Hi, Greg. The Canterbury's cook who died back in 2011.
Oh, he's recent.
He was
freshie.
Yeah.
He's a freshie.
He was a freshie, but he's checking in to make sure the new cook is doing things right.
Yeah. Season that properly, man.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he has pride in his work. Okay, cool.
Good
And then the other is an unknown woman who's allegedly been there for decades.
Aww.
And there was no other information other than, there's a woman. We've seen her for a really long time. The end.
Recognize her!
Right. But also, side note, there was a pentagram found in the basement.
Yes!
So, clearly...
Protection or summoning variety.
I think someone was trying to summon something.
Side note to your side note. One time in my French class, the teacher didn't show, so we drew a pentagram on the floor in college.
Sounds about right. Yeah. Now we move to the rebar. Not like rebar, like the way you used to build,
concrete? Yeah.
but like again bar.
That's what I thought, and I almost drooled my wine because I laughed.
But like RE-bar.
Yeah.
So there are 2 ghosts that frequent the rebar. The first is a woman who died in the 1930s in the building where the handicap stall now is.
Aww.
And she is
Moaning Myrtle.
Oh,
She really is Moaning Myrtle.
Oh, she is seen after closing time at the west end of the bar, silently sobbing.
Oh.
So yeah.
I think of the episode of The Office, The Office when they play that every day. It's like one of the cold opens. Not the best cold open. The best cold open is when Michael is playing Lady Gaga on the radio and he drives up and goes, "It's Britney, bitch."
Yes!
That's the best cold open.
No, Zach, after working many years in the restaurant industry, hates closing time. Yeah. But no, yeah, she just like silently sobs at the end of the bar.
Aw,
I'm like,
honey.
especially
We've all
because
been there.
one,
For
it makes me
real.
wonder how she died, since she died in the restaurant. So like alcohol poisoning or something
Maybe she
more
choked.
deliberate.
Oh.
But also,
Or maybe she choked.
she was allegedly the owner of the bar.
Oh.
She killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They killed her.
Yeah.
In 1930 especially.
A woman
owning a bar.
business, Yeah.
Yeah.
During... When did Prohibition end?
29.
29.
So right after Prohibition? They killed that hoe.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, you not a hoe.
However,
I appreciate you.
our second ghost was revealed during a seance.
Woohoo!
Yes!
He is
We
a...
need to do a seance.
No.
No. That is a hard no from both of us. He is a 70s style leather daddy. I told you daddy would come back.
Daddy!
Wait, 70s style leather daddy? That's disgusting.
I feel like that's a
I
lot
bet
of
you he's
hair
a
for me.
handlebar
Porn
mustache.
I feel like that's a lot of hair for me.
Oh, boy.
Porn stash, leather, y'all.
I'm there for the leather,
Chaps.
less for the hair.
Assless chaps.
Oh.
Assless chaps, daddy. I slapped that ass.
But he's very innocent. He likes to play with the sound and lighting.
He's just setting the mood for a dance party.
He's a sub. It's fine.
And then finally, there is a mysterious smell that appears.
Oh God, no. No. You don't ever follow that with a mysterious smell.
Oh.
Let
me get through
That
this.
should never be followed with a mysterious smell.
Let me get through my shit.
I'm literally
sorry.
nauseous.
I'm a little bit too. Could be the salt and vinegar and wine, but I don't think so.
Okay, so just so y'all know, I went and got a couple piercings earlier, and I almost threw up and passed out while I was driving back to Catherine's
It's
house.
okay, I kept her safe.
But Catherine ended up driving me the rest of the way home. Anyway,
Mysterious smell.
as I wheeze.
Sticking noise.
My bum.
Snape. Snape. Severus Snape.
Dumbledore.
Okay, anyway, moving on.
Ron Weasley.
So, A mysterious smell appears to come from beneath the stage, but every time that a staff member goes to check, there is nothing there that could possibly cause the smell.
Rotting body
so
smell?
unfortunate.
But like they would go in and like check in the walls, they would check under the stage, they would check every nook and cranny that they possibly
It's just
could.
a nasty smell.
And one employee actually said it's not a natural smell, it's a ghostly smell. And so they said like it's a phantom kind of funk.
Ew.
It's like the plasmic energy crackly weirdness.
Sure. So
Is Bree the drunkest out of the three of us?
I think so.
Shut the fuck up.
She is. This is new.
So now we move to the Kells Irish restaurant, which is my
Of
last
course.
one.
Yay.
So this one has some fun stuff. It's really spooky yuki. The Kells used to be the Butterworth and Sons mortuary.
Ooh.
Back then, the bodies would be brought through the alley entrance, which is now the front entrance, and into the embalming room, which is now the pub.
Ew.
There's
a lot of seepage in that floor.
Yeah. You can see why we have ghosts.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Plasmic energy.
Then the bodies would get lifted in the dumbwaiter to where the current bar sits. And I think it goes without saying, there are a lot of ghosts here that will remain unnamed.
It's gross, but it's kind of badass. Like, they should have kept it in the same style to, like, play off of the history and be like, dumb waiter to the bar with your drinks. That's kind of fucked, but also kind of badass.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
There are a couple regular ghosts, though. One being a little girl with red hair who likes to make an appearance at the top of the stairs between the bar and the now vacant chapel.
I love ginger babies.
But if she was a baby who happened to die and her body was there.
No, but she shouldn't be in a bar.
But also as a redhead, I approve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love ginger babies.
So the bartender says that he hasn't seen her, but he'll hear her rattle something and know that it's not someone trying to break in, but it's her reminding him to lock something up.
Oh, that's cute.
I know, like she's a sweet little girl.
Baby.
Our second ghost is Charlie.
Charlie.
Ouch,
Charlie.
Charlie bit my finger.
Charlie, honestly. Another musical.
Oh my gosh.
Kinky Boots.
Yes, I love Kinky Boots so much. The sex is in the heel. Okay, also Charlie is the name that my brother named his cat that I wanted.
The black cats?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, baby kitten.
I love black cats.
Hi Charlie, I miss scratching your butt.
Cats.
Yeah. Maya loves her butt scratched. She goes a little cross-eyed and gets her nose all crinkly.
I know a little cross-eyed too sometimes.
Heyo. So yeah, we don't actually know his name, but they just call him Charlie.
Sure.
He is seen as a phantom, wearing a long black coat and an old-timey hat.
Ooh.
They guess he's about 60, but you can't see his face to be sure. However, you can see him either in the Guinness mirror, which I'm assuming is just like
no, it was like an advertising campaign. For
Yeah,
Guinness,
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad you know. Or at a table by the wall. And of course, when you glance over, he's there, and when you glance back to be like, wait, was that a person? He's gone.
I wonder why he obscures his face.
Well,
See? Valid question.
Maybe
Not
he's trying
drunk.
to blend in.
see, but there was another ghost that didn't have a face in my story.
Well, yeah, but he got a face fucking shot off. Valid point. Again, not drunk.
But see, it was also one shot in the face. So since it was a shot in the face, why wouldn't it accent it to see, like, hey, this is how I died?
I don't know. I'd probably be self-conscious.
Yeah, he's probably super self-conscious. Like, my face is fucking blown off.
Well, and there were several restaurants that were not brought up in this. One of them talked about a woman who glided rather than walked.
Important to know.
And so, yeah, and so I'm like, I feel like I have to put that in now, that she glided down wherever she was. I also cut that story because this was so long.
We debate it later.
Yeah, but
This will happen.
it's eventually going to happen. We're going to come to a no one's right solution.
You're
already.
right, but it'll be an interesting debate.
I'm calling this now as like
Like,
our
we
source
know
who
the
specializes in
outcome.
ghost stories. So yeah, those are some of the restaurants that have ghosts in Seattle. So go check them out, especially post-COVID, to support local business.
Yay!
Especially support us to go there.
Also, please support us. That was my
We are
segment.
doing a sampling platter
As we
of,
did.
of So I'm going to be honest with you guys. Washington is like a vortex for serial killers. So I want to talk a little bit about statistics, and then I found a really cool article that's the 10 worst crimes that shook Seattle.
Oh.
Seattle. So I'm going to explain that, and I'll cite my sources in just a minute. According to serial killer victims, okay, California is number 1 with 1,628 victims. Texas is number 2.
That surprised me.
For real.
And then it goes Florida, Illinois, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and then Washington.
National
wait.
progression, though?
Okay,
Like
it does
Cali,
surprise me
Texas, Florida.
Well, okay, so it does make sense because of
Size-wise.
population.
Yeah.
It does surprise me that Florida beats Texas because
It
there
doesn't.
are lots
It doesn't. It's after Texas.
Yeah, about 50 less. But
That's what I'm saying. That doesn't. Sorry, drunk. That it doesn't surpass Texas because a lot of Texas is just like open land.
well,
Yeah.
so population-wise, Florida has around 8 million less people. So,
That's fair.
and it's only about 20 less murder victims.
But hashtag Florida man.
Yeah, that's a really fun game. Okay,
That is a really fun game. We played it last time.
This is
Yelled
why I
over.
said no, because he from Florida.
so Washington. Okay, so Washington is by far the lowest population in the top 10,
With the most
with just under 8 million,
Wow.
murders.
and it's had 390 serial killer victims in it.
Because what the fuck, Washington?
Yeah, so California by far is the winner, but there are a lot of people. I would also like to point out South Dakota is the lowest one.
What
and
up,
it only
South
has
Dakota?
seven
Nobody
serial killer
wants
victims.
to go to South Dakota.
Well, also they have a much smaller
Dakota.
population, so it makes sense that it would rise based on population.
yeah.
But Washington is an anomaly based on the number of victims, and a lot of serial killers killed in other states, but are from the Seattle area.
I feel like it's because there's no sunshine in Seattle, so they have seasonal depression and it just fucks them up.
There's like on
hardcore.
Google if you type in
Seasonal
why does
depression?
Seattle.
It is real.
It's so real.
It is real.
Take care of yourself,
I'm
especially in the
opposite,
winter.
though. I love, I feel so much calmer in wintertime when it's raining
Me
and stuff.
too.
Oh, I
feel
love
more
rain.
Oh, fall and
Yeah.
spring when it's like the 2 weeks of
fall.
rain that we get in Texas.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
For
gosh. It is literally my favorite time of year. Right when Corona started, we had like 2 weeks of rain and it was the best.
I was fine with quarantine. I think I didn't start to have the effect of my mental health until after it stopped raining for my
Oh,
quarantine.
yeah.
Like when it was raining, I was cleaning, I was cooking, I was enjoying being at home.
And I was snuggled up with my cat and just
Reading a
enjoying
lot.
life.
Yeah.
Yes, cuddling up with a cup of tea and reading
Yeah.
a
Oh,
book.
yeah.
My biggest issue was I had just started not being a fucking recluse again and
Yeah.
seeing you guys, and then all of a sudden it was like quarantine, and I'm like,
But quarantine-
mental health gone to fuck again.
Yeah.
Quarantine birthed this podcast.
Yeah,
So-
this is true.
Quarantine also birthed my like mental health little blog, which I named Quarantine for a blog
Nice.
because I'm punny like that. Granted,
respect
I have
that.
0 followers.
Okay, it's for you, girl.
I
It is
didn't
for
know
me.
about it. I will follow you.
That's because I didn't tell anyone about it until literally this moment.
Well, you should have, because I would have followed you before now.
Well, I mean, it's literally just like a little diary of just like, hey, this shit happened today.
I'm supportive. I will follow you, Carrie.
I love you. Thank you.
Okay. So, this is the 10 crimes that shook Seattle.
Hashtag shook
It's written by...
Sorry.
is written by Beth Lovejoy. It was published in 2014 for the Seattle Met.
I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna power through this.
Do it.
and ignore
I know you will.
On May 24th, 1935.
You sound like Lincoln proclamating.
Yes. So George Weyerhaeuser was 9 years old, and he was. I am talking, Carrie.
I'm laughing
Lee.
silently. I'm laughing silently.
A 9-year-old boy was kidnapped.
No,
I'm
Nick.
sorry.
I almost called you Larry.
Larry the
What's
Lobster.
my fucking name? What's my name, bitch? Carrie,
Be
say
serious.
my name. Say my name.
No one is
Around you, say baby I love you.
Wow, we're really hitting
My
the
name
early
is
2000s.
Harry. I'm so very fun. Oh my, it's a little bit scary. Honey, my bug hit her head on the table. Oh no. Okay, we being serious
stop.
boy.
Another
We're gonna
little
stop
boy,
quoting
May 24th,
songs.
He was the heir to the Weyerhaeuser lumber fortune, and he was kidnapped on his way home from school in Tacoma. So the evening, a letter arrived at his house demanding $200,000 in unmarked bills within 5 days or else. Which, in 1935, $200,000 is a lot more. Like,
I was
how
gonna
much now?
ask. Yeah.
But that's still, like,
Do we
that's
have modern money equivalent?
I do not, but it's probably
Close to $1 million?
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. I was wondering.
Because of inflation, especially
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Seattle.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the ransom note ordered the family to communicate with the kidnappers via personal ads in the Seattle Post-Intelligencer. So newspaper ads, super old-timey, kind of into it, but also terrifying. So George's father was later instructed to check in at Seattle's Ambassador Hotel under an assumed name. A complicated game of cat and mouse followed. On May 29th, the kidnappers ordered Mr. Weyerhaeuser to drive to a road off Highway 99, get out of his car, and walk back toward the highway, leaving the engine running with the ransom money in the car's front seat.
Oh.
The younger Weyerhaeuser was shortly released, so the little boy was released.
Good.
FBI and local authorities caught the kidnappers by tracing the serial numbers on the ransom money. The culprits were a pair of young hoodlums, Harmon Whaley and William Daynard, who'd first met in the Idaho State Penitentiary, and one of their wives. So, 2 guys, one of their wives. The trio was sentenced to a combination of 135 years in prison, while George Weyerhaeuser grew up to be the chairman of the Weyerhaeuser Company Board. So he was rescued, and they did catch them, which is great. It kind of reminds me of the Coors killing, if we talk about Colorado.
Yeah.
So the heir to the Coors fortune, he was an adult man, but almost this exact same thing happened. He disappeared on his way to work one day.
Ooh.
And they gave a ton of money to get him back, and they didn't get him back. Like, he disappeared.
Was that a,
Forensic Files?
Yes,
Sure
okay.
was.
Because I watched it over here with you.
Oh, yeah. I am obsessed. So, D.B. Cooper, we're going to talk about him. I just watched The Unsolved Mystery. Okay. So, this is technically a robbery. It's not a murder, but it's fascinating. So, this was in 1971. And Bree talked about Boeing, and so that has to do with this. So, on Thanksgiving Eve in 1971, normal-looking guy in his 40s boarded a Seattle-bound Northwest Orient Airlines flight departing from Portland, Oregon. Okay? He settled into his seat, ordered a bourbon and soda, and a few minutes later, he handed the stewardess a note saying he had a bomb.
Oh.
Okay? Flight attendant, not stewardess, continuing.
Uh-huh.
Thus began the most daring crimes in Northwest history. The man who purchased his ticket under the name Dan Cooper demanded $200,000, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck waiting for him upon landing in Seattle. The airline agreed, and the plane circled SeaTac, which is the airport, for 2 hours, while the FBI gathered the money. After landing, Cooper exchanged the passengers for the money and supplies, keeping several crew members and telling the pilot to set course for Mexico City. Somewhere between Seattle and Nevada, he parachuted out of the plane into the night, and he has never been found.
Why
Okay.
4 parachutes?
Okay.
Do you have this? Because I've listened to a couple of different podcasts about this.
Oh, I need them later.
Oh, it's intense. I can kind of briefly cover it, but 4 parachutes, you'd carry 2 because the
backup.
assumption
Yeah.
is that you would have 1 for backup in case one did not work, and he would take a hostage with him.
He was planning on taking one of the flight attendants, I'm pretty sure, but he took all of them, and one of them was defective. One of the parachutes was defective, so they don't know if he survived the landing or if he perished. But he had $200,000 with him.
But also, at that time, it was common to purchase like kind of vending machine style life insurance, and so he did so for his family with the anticipation that the plane would go down.
Oh, I think I've heard of this before.
Yeah.
And he
used an assumed name.
Yeah. And he was like somewhere else days before the suspected person, the actual person.
Yes.
And they try to connect it, but it's hard because he was like, there's no way he'd be able to get there.
There's a
within
40-foot
days.
long file on the case considered. And the FBI has considered thousands of, over 1,000 suspects.
I want to get my hands on that.
But none of them have ever been charged with the crime. So this is still an open case file from the FBI.
Well, then a little boy found a large sum of money within the area that he could have fallen and turned it in. And obviously, that's the best case scenario, that someone would just turn in the money and not just keep it.
Yeah.
But he did turn it in, and they gave him $5,000 for finding it. But they do have the large sum of money.
But it wasn't the full $200,000.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, so I have heard of this. It was on some podcast. It was like a brief.
It's really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
It is interesting. And I can't remember if the guy they suspected had like a ticket, like days or hours before or
he bought
after?
He bought it right beforehand.
Okay.
He like walked up and paid.
No,
gas.
not like that ticket, but like a traffic ticket. And so
Okay.
they're like, there's no way he could have gotten there in time, but they strongly suspect him.
Oh.
Okay, so interesting. Sorry.
So
Yeah.
lots of suspects.
And he is like the most average-looking 40-year-old white guy apparently.
Yeah.
So no one can ever
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
and he wore like an overcoat.
Uh-huh.
But fortunately, no one else died, and we don't even know if he died. So
Right.
it could have been much worse.
Uh-huh.
And that was in the 70s when hijacking wasn't as understood as it is today.
Right.
Our generation has a different understanding of plane safety than
Yeah.
the 70s.
Definitely.
Oh.
So, next one is a big boy, and I could have just talked about him, but I figured everyone knows enough about him. Good old Ted Bundy.
Hey yo,
Oh.
Bundy.
Oh, man.
So this took place over the 1970s. He is he's the epitome of charming but cold-blooded killer.
Yeah.
He murdered more than 30 women, perhaps as many as 100 in Washington, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, and Florida.
Ugh.
So he did spend some time in Washington, which is why I'm talking about it, but I may even cover him when we talk about another case. But all of those
I feel like
states
he
can have laws.
deserves a
Yeah,
whole
it's
episode.
funny. It's
Yeah.
funny. He has a whole fucking Netflix series.
Yeah,
Oh,
but that's
yeah.
what I mean. Like, a lot of people who are interested in true crime know a lot about him.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to talk about some of these other ones. So
Everyone thinks he's so attractive, but when I look at him, I think oily.
Well,
Well, he
like,
is.
think at the
I
time.
know.
yeah, he's the charmer.
Like, that was...
Yeah. So he was a clean-cut law student. He often lured victims by pretending to be an authority figure or faking an injury.
Yep.
He bludgeoned or strangled them and raped them, leaving their dead bodies in the wood.
Fucker.
So, Zac Efron recently played him, which I think is a really good choice.
That was a really solid
because
choice.
they want to show his attractiveness
Oh,
and
yeah.
how he's able to do this. So,
Zac
there's the
Efron, please be our
Volkswagen,
friend.
the broken arm ruse,
Yep.
the center
yeah.
part theory. There's so much about Bundy.
There
The
was a lot of
Volkswagen
debate
that had-
on Zac Efron playing that too.
I think
Yeah.
it's a perfect choice because
Yeah.
It was.
he
He is
is someone
attractive.
attractive. That's the point.
Yeah.
and
He was
everyone
attractive.
thinks he's attractive and charming.
Yeah.
Like he fucking represented himself in court. For
Yeah.
fuck's sake.
So, police finally caught him during a routine traffic stop in Salt Lake City in 1975. His trials were highly publicized, dragged on for years, thanks in part to bold jail escapes. He was finally convicted and handed 3 separate death sentences, the last in February 1980. After 9 years on death row, during which he provided detailed confessions to investigators, he was electrocuted on January 24th,
Good.
1989. In keeping with his wishes, his ashes were scattered in an undisclosed location in the Cascade Mountains.
Yeah. Washington.
So our
Okay.
wine could have a little bit of dead Ted Bundy in it. So
To drinking Ted Bundy.
yeah, it's about all he deserves.
Who was it that ate the people? Was it Dahmer? Or he
Oh.
stuffed them in the
Oh,
wall or
the
something?
Dahmer
There's
party?
No,
No.
she's talking about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
I will talk about Jeffrey Dahmer, but he's a different city.
No, yeah, I know. Sorry, I was just questioning
He's
because
Milwaukee,
Disturbia kind of loosely based their one character off
Yeah.
of one of the serial killers, and I was like,
Yeah.
I always thought it was Bundy, but it's not. It's Dahmer, right?
Yeah.
Dahmer had cannibalistic tendencies,
mhm.
and he's Milwaukee, but we'll talk about him.
Yeah.
later. Okay.
Well, and
okay,
didn't
sorry.
the Dahmer party end up eating part
So
of it?
Dahmer
they
party
did.
different, but that was a plane crash.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they did, but
Yeah.
because
Okay,
they
that's
That
crashed
was
and were
sports
stranded.
cannibalism. Different.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
a murder involved.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, I just thought
And
of
it's Donner.
cannibalism.
Donner.
Donner.
Mhm.
Okay.
Donner party, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Green
Maybe
River Killer
confused my
was the
brain.
1980s, and I am so
Ooh, I've heard of
dozens
this.
of prostitutes and teenage runaways
Yeah.
disappeared from the strip along Highway 99 Pacific Highway South near
Yeah.
SeaTac, near the airport. High risk lifestyle, so prostitutes, sex workers, teenage runaways.
So taken less seriously and not investigated
Yeah.
as closely fuckers.
True. So
Yeah,
authorities
law
found
enforcement.
many of their bodies floating in the Green River or
Yep.
dumped in forlorn areas along a freeway. So,
Mm-hmm.
police arrested Auburn truck painter Gary Ridgway in 2001, crediting DNA advances for helping them to finally crack the case. So that's 20 years later.
Ugh.
Ridgway struck a plea deal that saved him from execution and confessed to the murder of 48 women. He later pled guilty to 49th after more remains were found. These convictions gave him a more extensive record than any other serial killer in U.S. history. Sentenced to life without parole, he's currently incarcerated in the Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla. The remains of his victims are still being identified, most recently in 2012. So this is from 2014.
Uh-huh.
So I think there actually may have been some more developments in this.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
49 victims, One of his quotes is, "I killed so many women, I had a hard time keeping them straight."
Yep.
He better fucking die in prison.
Gross,
he is.
beady little eyes and a mustache.
Yeah, there's an episode of, I think it's Crime Junkies on it, and they,
so
disgusting.
Yeah, but DNA caught him 20 years after the fact. We recently just had a California serial killer that was caught based on DNA.
Golden State.
Yeah.
Yes, there are so many improvements, and like
we're working. We're
yes,
getting there.
Let's test this DNA.
I made a jab earlier about DNA testing, but like I am proud of the progression that we are making. But like, let's do it quicker because there are so many backlogged cases that could be fucking. Anyway,
so
let's catch these killers.
This I'd never heard of. So this is a massacre. It's called the Wah-Mee Massacre in 1983, and so this is in Chinatown. So I may say some of the words incorrectly, but I'm trying. So it's one of the worst mass killings in Seattle's history. It's in an alley in Chinatown, home to bakeries and gift shops, and near the Chinese Chamber of Commerce. So February 18th, in February of 1983, Quan Phi, who went by Willie Mack, Benjamin Ying, and Tony Ying, and they're not related, burst into the historic Wah-Mee Gambling Club, hog-tying its 14 occupants, robbing them, shooting them, and leaving them for dead.
Oh!
So the only survivor was a 62-year-old ex-Navy cook and Pai Ku dealer, which I think is like a game. Wai Chin, he managed to struggle out of his bonds and stumble out into the street for help. So he was 62, which is impressive. Chin immediately identified Mac and Benjamin. They were regulars at the club, ruining Mastermind Mac's plan to escape with the crime. So Mac's plan was to escape with the crime that was clear his estimated $30,000 in gambling debt.
Rude.
The crime led to a crackdown on high-stakes gambling in Chinatown, which police had historically been paid to ignore. So Mac and Benjamin...
I feel like that's relevant.
Yeah. So Mac and Benjamin are currently serving life without parole, while Tony was acquitted of the murder after the court found him that he participated in the crimes under duress. He was paroled from prison in 2013, and in May of this year, deported to Hong Kong. The Wah-Mee, meanwhile, has never opened its doors again. So, this is Mia Zapata's murder in 1993. There is a forensic files on this one as well. She was the head woman in the Gits, which is a grunge band, Seattle grunge band. So, on July 7th, 1993, I was just about 6 months old. I was not. Left a gaping hole in Seattle's punk music scene. The Gits, known for energetic live performances and Zapata's passionate vocals, had just returned from a successful West Coast tour, and stardom, or at least a major record deal, seemed the next step. Those dreams in Zapata's life ended when she was beaten, raped, and strangled to death and left on Central District Street.
Motherfuckers.
So there's a lot of confusion because she was found right near a church, and so a lot of people were confused about how she was killed. They didn't find drugs in her system, so like this had nothing to do with like an overdose or anything. She was like targeted and murdered.
But like I'm confused about how they're confused about how she was murdered because in the relation to her being near a church.
Some people thought that maybe she was just a random victim and the church was why she was killed. Not because of her. So her death inspired the creation of an anti-violence network called Home Alive, while friends and fans, including Joan Jett and Kurt Cobain, produced shows and CDs to raise funds for a private investigator.
Oh, good.
The case stayed cold until 2003.
And Kurt Cobain.
When new DNA testing showed a match between saliva on Zapata's body. Sorry, I'm eating an Oreo blizzard.
And I had saliva in my mouth due to wine. So I couldn't be like, Barty?
Yeah.
Body.
Well, anyways, it was a Florida fisherman, Jesus Mezacuia. He was convicted of Zapata's murder in 2004 and is serving 36 years in prison.
Good, you fucker.
Yeah.
Shout out to DNA testing again.
Oh my gosh.
Zapata's memory as a feminist icon lingers, and former bandmates continue to protect her legacy. In January, Gits drummer Steve Moriarty made headlines when he criticized the producers of what he said was a cheap true crime TV episode about Zapata's death, arguing that today's Zapata should be remembered for her art, not her murder. That's a dig at Forensic Files.
Yeah.
That's a dig at Forensic Files, but it's okay
also,
because he lost his dear friend, and I understand.
But also his last name is Moriarty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this next one, a lot of you should know, Carrie and I are going to be extra skeezed out by this.
Oh, no.
Mary Kay Letourneau. 1997.
Oh, my gosh.
So, she was a 34-year-old school teacher.
I'm just gonna...
Caught having sex with her 12-year-old student.
Motherfucking son of a bitch.
I'm sorry for the weird sounds I made, but oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm a middle school teacher. I'm not going to say where because I value my job and I love what I do. But these are children.
Yep.
I may be the youngest
baby.
Of the three of us. I am definitely the youngest.
Yeah.
But I am still a teacher. Mm-hmm. And the fact that this grown-ass woman... It's
disgusting.
A 12-year-old kid. Okay.
Oh.
Like, most of my kids are 12.
Mm-hmm.
It's in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
No, I literally see them as my own kids.
Yep.
Sure, they're only half my age, but still, as
they're
that
children,
as
they're
that
babies.
teacher in me, they are my kids. I take care of them. I will fight for them.
Mm-hmm.
I will take a bullet for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the same as wanting a relationship with them.
Gross.
That is disgusting.
She was pregnant with a daughter.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
From their student. So.
I am not even a teacher, and I would defend children with my life.
He has a name, and it has been released, but I'm just going to talk about him as a student because he is that young.
Baby.
And his name is out there, like it's well known. But so she was arrested in 1997. She served 3 months in jail, but was caught weeks after her release having sex with him again in her car.
Was this a Criminal Minds episode? Because I feel like it
They based one off of it.
Okay. That's what I thought. Also, I would like to point out that while I hate on fucking XYs like every episode because there are more men reported as being rapists than women, I hate on this bitch too. Yeah. I don't fuck with rapists.
Yeah.
Right.
So, she was sent back to jail, pregnant again. This time she served 7.5 years on 2 counts of second-degree child rape, which is what she was doing. But the pair pledged love, and after she was released in 2004, they married at a winery in Woodinville.
Fucker.
Since then, they've been known to host Hot for Teacher nights at local clubs.
Jesus Christ! You fucking psychotic, child-manipulating son of a bitch, but actual bitch.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with what Brie just said. As a wine frequenter, teacher,
don't blaspheme.
I do not condone having any sort of relationship with your students other than the teacher-student relationship and occasionally, once they graduate, a friend relationship.
A college
what
mentor.
A fucking 12-year-old
It's
bitch.
disgusting.
I have been mentor to a couple of musicians who have gone into college to study music, and even then it's a mentorship. Heaven help me if there is ever a point. I literally cannot fathom this
they have 2 children together. They glorify it by hosting themed nights at clubs.
Oh my god, this infuriates me. Yeah. I'm like literally sitting here grinding my fucking teeth.
Like, if it makes you feel better, in January 2014, she landed back in jail for a little at a time because she failed to appear in court for driving with a suspended license.
Oh, look at that.
So she's just crazy.
Okay, so that being said, I have known people to date their like TAs or their professors in college and get married, and they're happy, and it's consensual because they're over 18, and they're not being child raped by their teacher because they don't know any better.
Slightly different.
So there is a difference there, and there's an age of consent for a reason.
Yeah.
So.
Because babies don't know. Like, do you know how long it took me to understand fucking manipulation and recognize it and when I was being used?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was long past being 18.
Well, even with friends. Not even, like, a lover, quote-unquote. But, my friends manipulating me. It took me through college.
Yeah, and, like, generally I recognize that shit pretty early on because other fucked up shit. But, like, in terms of that, sometimes it takes a little while. So, like, age of consent is fucking important.
Yep.
Yeah. I literally cannot imagine what I cannot process.
Yeah.
Because that's just insane.
Oh, and apparently, for a while, pedophiles were fighting to be part of the LGBTQ community, and
No.
I was infuriated. Like, I'm not technically part of the LGBTQ.
You're an ally.
Yeah,
I'm an ally. I was gonna say I'm not like
We're part of the plus.
part of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm an ally, but like it pissed me the
That's disgusting.
fuck off.
Well,
There's a
as-
completely difference between
Yes.
As
Yes.
and a consensual
Oh
relationship.
god, I was infuriated. Yeah. Anyway.
As a hardcore ally, I will vouch for my kids day in and day out.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a middle school teacher. I'm not going to say where. I'm not going to say who for. I'm not going to say what I teach. Granted, you can probably figure that out. But,
This is true.
yeah. I will fight for my kids because they're underage, because they need representation, because they deserve to have their voices heard.
Yeah.
Now, once they turn 18, of course they can fight for themselves. But I will still fight for them as a person who loves them for the person that they are and for the person that they can be.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we're going to go
pedophiles
from
are not those people.
child rape and pedophilia to gun violence and a massacre in 2006.
As you can tell, we're really passionate about this shit.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking
So,
because you can imagine where I fall on this.
Kyle Aaron Huff accepted an invitation to a Capitol Hill rave after party on March 25th, 2006. Hung out, he drank with a friendly group, all of them strangers. Then he went to his truck for a pistol grip shotgun, a semi-automatic handgun, and 300 rounds of ammunition. The word "now" was spray painted on the sidewalk and steps of a neighboring house. So,
Did you say 300?
yep. So Huff's 4-minute shooting spree left 6 dead and seriously wounded 2 others. When Seattle police officer Steve Leonard arrived at the scene, Huff turned the gun on himself, ending his life and leaving the city mystified about his motive.
Fucking pussy.
Local pundits blamed the rave scene itself, while a panel of experts who produced a report for the SPD said Huff's altered alienation and depression had simply spiraled out of control. The full answer may never be known. So
In other words, he should have been monitored prior to this and not been allowed access to motherfucking firearms. I would like to point out that I have a fucking firearm, which is at all times safely locked up in a fucking safe that no one else has a code to, separated from the fucking cartridge with its goddamn bullets. I only use this motherfucker in a safe space at a fucking range under supervision. Oof. I will go off about this for hours.
So
I'm
we killed
sorry.
6, wounded 2. Our last one, sorry I'm chewing, was the Teresa Butts murder in 2009. So in the early hours of July 19th, 2009, a man named Isaiah Caleboo crept through an open window in the South Park home of Teresa Butts and Jennifer Hopper. Okay? So they were a couple, lesbian couple. The details of the terror that unfolded would horrify the city. He raped the couple in multiple ways and multiple times, slicing them with a knife. He used their love for each other against them, and how Butts threw a nightstand through the window and escaped screaming and bleeding.
Oh my gosh.
So, she ran out, and then Hopper ran out the door, and then Butts died in the street. So So he basically was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill your girlfriend if you don't do what I say." Raped them both multiple times, stabbed them. They both tried to escape, but Butts died in the street from her injuries. Okay.
God damn it.
So Hopper survived, testifying in detail against her attacker during the 2011 trial. So her testimony became the subject of Pulitzer-winning piece Eli Sanders wrote in The Stranger, and she later wrote her own essay for the paper. Caleboo will spend the rest of his life in prison, while Hopper, a singer, is using music to heal. Good. In April 2014, she performed publicly for the first time since the attacks at a benefit concert at the Neptune. So her girlfriend was murdered.
Yeah.
Just
horrible. Like to say I appreciate you and your strength and speaking
I don't
out.
know.
That's so strong.
I don't know how you do it, but
I meant, so not only does she have her physical and emotional trauma, but also the loss of a loved one.
Yep.
Right.
And fuck him.
I mean,
like,
that's traumatizing enough to just create that barrier to.
Well, and I wanted to end on, because it is Pride Month, I wanted to end on an LBGT issue. because this was clearly, like, he knew that they were a couple and used the fact that they loved each other as a way to attack them. And LGBT couples are more likely to get attacked.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is recent. This is 2009. Like, I was in high school. That's not...
I was in high school.
And the fucked up thing is, I listen to a lot of true crime, and I've never heard of this.
Yeah, and it
is.
So
I'm really glad that you covered this, because even true crime that I listen to covers recent shit.
Yeah,
but I've never heard this, so I'm really glad you covered this.
And Teresa died literally. She threw a nightstand through the window and escaped. It's like she climbed through and got help.
Yeah,
for Hopper,
Good.
And she literally died in the street after she escaped. So they did
so
everything
strong.
they could to save each other.
Good.
And
it's heartbreaking.
I haven't read that piece, but it's a Pulitzer winner.
Oh, I'm gonna read it now. Yeah.
Right.
Fuck yeah.
Well, LGBTQ plus community, we are here for you. Send in your stories to us. We would love to read them.
Please.
I don't know what we're gonna do as like sort of an on-air bonus kind of, shout out to y'all, but like that's amazing.
Yes.
And as being Pride Month,
Music to Heal is also something that's dear to us.
Right. So Catherine and I are both music sort of teachers. Music heals, and music is part of us.
She testified in detail in court, so her bravery and testimony
that would have
got the justice for her girlfriend.
I mean,
not only for her own suffering, but for the fact that her girlfriend sacrificed herself to help.
That is a whole other level of strength.
Yes.
So we applaud you. We support you. We want to be there for you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So that was a big story. Yeah. Big story. And there's quite a few info. Eli Sanders is the one who wrote. And it was in 2009. So there's a couple of interviews online that you can find between him. Yeah. And so shout out to all those victims, because there's a lot, and that was just skimming the surface. There's even more from Seattle.
My God, the stories in the LGBTQ community that are only just now starting to come out. Yep. Like, we don't even know. It's like we've not even touched on the tip of the iceberg. Because they've had to hide for so long, not only because they were victims, but also because they were LGBTQ, like, part of the community. It just, Jesus.
Well, the Pulse Club shooting.
Oh my gosh.
The anniversary.
Horrible.
Yes.
So it's still...
When we talked about, what was it? Whatever city it was, when we talked about that nightclub fire that I talked about, that's what I thought of the whole time, was just like...
Boston?
Yeah, people just, like, packed on top of each other trying to escape, and I just kept thinking of the fucking shooting and people trying to escape, and it fucking broke my heart.
Yeah. So, hate to always end my true crime sadness,
but hug your friends, hug your family, and even if your family is your friends. Sorry, I had the hiccups. I've been trying to hold my breath in awkward ways for a couple minutes now, and I'm pretty sure Bree and Catherine have noticed. But
we support her sentiment.
Yeah, I'm really trying to not hiccup during my love for y'all, but sorry, I keep hiccuping, so it makes awkward hicks in my little spiel. But we hope you enjoyed your tour of Seattle. Bye.
Bye. Follow us on Instagram at Darkside Tour Guides and on Twitter at Darkside Guides. Give us a like on Facebook at Darkside Tour Guides. Visit the blog at darksidetourguide.wordpress.com or email us at darksidetourguides@gmail.com.